Let's kick it old school! Old school essentials. The further adventures of the Thunderous Fury.
All right, it is Old School Essentials, the further adventures of the Thunderous Fury session 6-0. Time for the recap.
In the session before that one, we found out exactly how screwed we were because there were at least 3 different groups going after us who apparently all knew we would be there for the meeting. I mean, the only saving grace is apparently some of them were interfering with the others. So upon realizing that, we decided not to fight it out. And the whole rest of the encounter turned out to be run away as fast as possible, except maybe turning around to hinder the opponent. So let's talk about hindering the opponent. Orion successfully cast an entangle that slowed down several of the apes that were with Mr. Three-Eye. Karn and Felix helped load up the Zophant that was paralyzed, and so indeed we did not leave Private Ryan behind. Clintock follows, and of course, just because he was the one to set off part of this problem, he has to exacerbate it, and he insults Third Eye on the way out. Basil Besix decides he wants the special throwing dart, and never mind running away, he's running back in order to pick up the dart. Well, he stops and tries to get the lecturer to help, hopefully convincing the lecturer to come out and give his also boring lecture to the crowd of people fighting over our very bodies. And anyway, Virgil steps out of the colonnade and starts his speech as Solomir, and he is indeed doing a good job lambasting Solomir's reputation. Orion tries to get Solomir to go in and interfere, but apparently Solomir was a rotten coward bastard because Solomir refuses to step up. In the meantime, Virgil, however, reveals something else entirely, puts on a hat and transforms into a half-human, half-warthog, and tries to kill everybody around. I mean, I'm sorry. Talk about out of the blue. I can understand people, all sorts of people going after us, but Virgil just going berserker warthog makes no goddamn sense. Felix decides she's not going to hang with the crowd, runs into the fog in the opposite direction, and is planning on following the stream out. Basil Wilberforce drops caltrops, and indeed some soldiers hit them, and when Basil Wilberforce is out of his first batch of caltrops, Orion hands him his batch so that Basil Wilberforce can do it yes again. A couple of people get injured. One Clintock goes down, and we have to indeed save Private Clintock in addition. So now there's 2 people hanging out on the horse as everybody runs away. Basil Besix comes out and manages to actually find the dart and heads vaguely in the direction that Felix does. And they both, after a few turns, manage to find the stream and sort of head downstream. Yay, they're headed away. The rest of us are sort of grouped together, being followed by far fewer apes between the caltrops and the entangle, and a earth elemental who absolutely is not affected by either the caltrop or the entangle. And indeed, our favorite lecturer comes out and starts trying his lecture, but it bothers nobody. But at least it's a comic relief as the rest of us are, trying to escape being crossbowed and otherwise killed and captured for, well, our ridiculous amount of bounties. By sprinting, we managed to get just ahead enough that people start heading down. And indeed, Felix and Basil Besix make it to the waterfall and start going down. Yeah, let's see. Everybody gets safely down the rope except for Orion, who falls at the last minute and takes some additional damage falling. Everybody manages to get in the boat and head out. John Corey uses his new ability with control water to help push the ship along once we got on it, and we successfully, amazingly, got away from the Ape Empire again. I mean, really, those guys have to think that we are the luckiest bastards in existence, all in all. I mean, we're settling into the ship and thinking we got away, and a couple of us go down in the hold, and what's in the hold? Well, the other passengers who happen to be one of the groups trying to take us in. Well, Orion does this grand attempt to intimidate them, which doesn't even get a chuckle. It doesn't even get recognition, because we find out, among other things, there are 8 of those damn mercenaries, and they have decided to give up on that particular bounty. So Orion is, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing for that particular intimidation attempt. So we get a day of sailing and a round of Karn and Orion with his brand shiny new healing spells we can give out, healing a couple of people. And the captain says, but we can go to a special place, the city of Crystal. And indeed, he manages to find the city of Crystal, which is sort of obviously not exactly a normal place, because he has to do some strange things to get there. But we come up to the Crystal Docks, like frankly occurred in the console, because we're all battle-weary, ugly, injured, half of us with trash gear, been going through the swamps, and this city is, everything crystal with all sorts of Victorian dresses and amazing statues, etc. So, but Captain Bosun had warned us ahead of time that he didn't know exactly what kind of reception he would get, because last time he sort of dropped off somebody who might have been a troublemaker. Well, it turns out that indeed he was a troublemaker, and he made trouble, and he took over the place, and apparently what turned out to be a great guy, because the city welcomes us with open arms. Great, wonderful. So the captain points us to the Silly Lady store, saying that we might be able to get some alchemical help with our problems there. And at the same time, Orion is grumbling loudly about a bath and a drink. And we mentioned also being hag-touched, hence the smell of mothballs. And we're told that really only the Lord of the City can help out with that. We enter the Silly Lady store, and it turns out to be a rather nice
lady
who says, yes, she can give us ointments to help with a variety of things. First of all, the poison that's apparently going to kill Zofan if we don't get him unpoisoned in a day or two. And also our various, lingering illnesses. But as with all things Fae, the price is sort of odd, because for a cure for lingering illnesses is our very tears, and we have to generate them in order to get the stuff to start out with. Well, Quintok rightfully points out that he has a tragic story of, marrying the perfect woman only to have her assassinated moments after, as, at the Wagonbow Estate. And after Quintok points this out, Orion takes the bit in his teeth and sort of exaggerates a tiny amount. Truthfully, he didn't have to exaggerate much, because that was a shit storm. But in any case, gets her to tear up a little, which he turns into an ointment. And indeed, we have some ointments that will heal some of, not heal, but reduce the duration of some of our maladies. Yay, us. We've also got some additional healing potions in the wine that will cure the Empire's paralytic poison, should we ever go up against them again. That'll never happen. In any case, we're asking about other things. We were recommended the Regal Beagle for food, and we find out that they've got a sub tank out front for their Grottoes friends. And so Orion gets his bath sort of kind of maybe soaking with the Grottoes and chatting up stories. We find out there is a elf who might be able to help us get back to where we really want to go, and indeed may be able to help us with Hag Touch, because apparently the city ruler is not in at the moment. We can't stick around long enough to find him. But a certain, I may have gotten this wrong, Sir Lorison Moonstar Strike may be able to help us. We get to talk to him and get some details about what he might be able to do. But of course, like I'll say, he is bloody, obtuse, and can't speak directly on anything. He sort of hints and waves and says, yeah, we might be able to help you in some ways, blah, 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 blah. And that's where we leave off, because we have to make the decision. Do we take the we know it will work and leave the next day with Captain Bosun, or do we take the unknown direction and see if the Elven Lord can help us, either with being tag touched, or maybe help us get back to our friend. I think that's where we left off.
As far as I know, according, when I watched it at the end, you guys had decided. Now you can change your mind. You could decided to take, I believe, the ferry road to Lord Three Moons Waxing because it was a day away, and you told Captain Bosun to return because he will return in 3 days because he is taking the other group somewhere, which you did inquire where they went, but he said, I will not disclose that because I don't disclose where you guys go. So, he can't do that kind of thing. Unless you want to change your mind, that's perfectly fine. A couple points. Virgil gave his wonderful speech that Clintock had written for him, and at the end of that, somebody yelled, "Shut up!" And that was the blonde-headed girl who looked like the college student, and she shot him with a crossbow, and when he was hit with the bolt, that is when he started to transform into a were-warthog.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch that detail.
Let's see. There was a called shot. Third Eye took an arrow right to the eye from Basil Wilberforce.
Yeah, thank you. That was a high point.
The poor crossbowman who would have dropped Orion with a nat 20 had to re-roll for your hustle point and rolled a 1 and hurt his back and was injured.
Another high point.
Orion did fall 30 feet from the cliff when he fell off the rope and only took 4 points of damage, which was rather fortunate. Yeah, one of the people you now recognize as the person who basically took out Clintock came over and brought a brush and gave it to Karn so he could brush his horse, and respected him and basically said to him, hey, hopefully next time we're on the same side. No hard feelings.
Yeah.
Right.
So Karn's got a brush too.
Right, yep. And you've got your horse that you can dismiss. You are currently in Tarkos. It is the land of Fae and Shadow. So there are skeletons and pixies and elves and ghouls all kind of walking around. It's like Victorian England, and they give you kind of sour looks as you go by because you smell of mothballs, but some of them don't judge because that's okay. So yeah, it's up to you. I mean, if you guys want to change your mind, that's fine. If you want to catch Captain Bosun before he leaves and say, hey, no, we're not going to take it.
Quick question about the stuff that Karn has on him that I didn't think about last session. You said he still had the small silver statue.
Right. Yeah, they let you have that. Yes.
Now Basil had the tongue of Cuthbert at that point, right?
Yeah, I think the only thing you're really missing is your armor.
Is the armor? So he's got his Nomex backpack, the water skin, the rations, the manacles, the 9 silver and the 91 gold. That was the things he was carrying on him. So I don't know if he would still have that with him or not, or if they'd taken that away.
We'll just say for simplicity's sake, they kept it in that. They stripped it of you and kept it in that hut. And when Basil Wilberforce went in there, he grabbed your stuff.
Okay, so he's got like some money on him and some water and some rations and things like that. Yeah. And he'll give him back his tongue of Cuthbert. I think we asked, didn't we, if there was somewhere in that city that he could buy armor?
Correct. And no, there isn't an armor smith. You actually talked to Sir Lorson Moonstar Sprite. Yeah. Because he is wearing the armor of Lord Three Moon Waxing. And he basically said, no, there wasn't an armor smith that he knew for mortals. Also, it's believed that maybe Lord Three Moon Waxing knows either can answer. He probably knows how to get rid of your hag touch situation, and he may have other information, like he may know of the infinite road and things like that. You have 4 doses of primrose wine, which cures paralysis. You have May's Tears ointment, which is 15 doses, which Clintock helped tell his story and got even more. And that reduces a status. Whatever your status is, it reduces it by 1 day. You have May's Healing Potion, which is 3 doses, which is 1d6 plus 1, and will cure poison.
Okay. And you said 2 days have passed since we left the City of the Apes?
1 day has passed.
1 day. How much HP do we get for,
or what is
would
it?
we get rest?
Is that a D4 days rest?
All right, so that's 3 HP back, so cool. I'm back at full. Okay, so there's a ferry road we can go down?
Yes, you're in Tarkos, which is kind of like, it's not obvious, you have to know a way to get there. It is basically a place where fairy and shadow meet. It's in an intersection. And there is a ferry road that is 1 day travel in a boat. Basically, it's like a canal that you'd be taking across the Petal Twinkle Ocean to a place called Distant Shore. It is 1 day away. So basically, when you're looking at this path, it's this canal. You can see kind of the ocean on both sides moving away, which looks very strange, like moves away from the path, and the path has bubbles coming up, not because it's hot, just because it's bubbles. And on either side, sort of is like marking the path, are like long, it almost looks like a lion's tail coming out of the water, and like different grass and stuff like that. So you can kind of see where you're supposed to go. So it's not, you got to figure it out. And you've got to row. It's a very long boat, not very wide, but you have to row. And he says it will take, 1 day to get there. And you asked, hey, has people come back? He says, well, I don't keep track of who goes back and forth. Somebody could have gone somewhere else. And it's not their, he basically was saying it's not our objective, like to trick people to go onto the road and never return, because nobody would take the road.
Fair enough.
You said it's been 2 days. And paladins get 2 points per level to heal, right?
It's been 1 day. You guys were on the ship that night, and then this is the next day.
But it's 2 points per level to heal, right?
It is 2 hit points per level. Lay on hands.
And he's level 4. He had used half of those the first day on the horse. I think he would just be healing the horse back before he helped anybody else, which sounds kind of bad, but that's Karn.
Well, wait, how much HP does the well? Because I can heal too. I can only heal once per day though.
Well, the horse would have healed 2 because you said he heals 1d4 as well a day. So he healed 2 for that. Karn healed 4, and he's fully healed up. And so the horse is at 18 points down, and Karn would give him another 8 points to get him to 10 points down.
Putting the horse on that boat is going to be really tricky. I mean, it will probably go on the boat, but
well, it's like a canoe, you said, right? So
yeah, it's not really a canoe, but it's just like a long skinny boat.
Oh, okay. That's how we're getting to that road.
Yes.
I may have to dismiss the horse until we get back.
What did I say the rules were? D what?
Can dismiss while still alive the horse he summoned, and can summon again in 2d6 days. If it dies, then it's raw 10 years. So 2d6 days if I dismiss.
Yep.
And so, I mean, if it's going to cause too many problems, he can dismiss them. I mean, if it's not likely, if it's going to be troublesome, will he have time to heal up while Karn wouldn't know.
So, well, let me, when you dismiss him and he returns, he's going to be at full health.
Okay. So Karn will save that 8 points for helping others.
Okay. Yeah.
And he'll dismiss
that, yeah. Okay. So you dismiss the horse. Go ahead and roll that. So we'll see when the horse can return.
The first one's a 3. My second one is a 5. Damn it. 8 days.
All right. So horse can return in 8 days.
He gives the horse lots of brushings and good loves and tells him, I'll see you again soon.
Apparently your other animal lover there may actually help you on that.
Animal lover? What are we talking about, guys?
Really? You didn't hear the guy in the the guy in the mercenary company who was hunting us turned out that he really appreciated animals, and he was so happy that Karn was taking such good care of his horse.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
that's why he's got the horse brush.
So okay, so we can hop on the boat and go across the petty
Pedal Twinkle Ocean.
God damn it. Pedal Twinkle Ocean to the distant shores beyond. I'm sure there's going to be some Fae stuff waiting for us. But what's our other thing that you guys were trying to do? What else were we trying to do here?
As Pete sort of pointed out, we got the better of both deals. We can check out Three Moons waxing or whatever. At least theoretically, time and Fae can be bizarre. Still get back, and if he can't help us, pick up Captain Bosa. So we sort of got the best of both worlds here for now.
All right. Let's see here. Yes, you're taking that way. Anything else you're going to do before you leave?
I can't think of anything. Actually, wait. Did you get? Well, is there a place to buy more caltrops here?
Here, no.
No. Okay. I think at least Tamul, he's good.
Make sure we're stocked up on food. You know, make sure our rations are complete, and we've got water skins, stuff like that.
Felix is gonna buy some more lantern oil if he can.
Okay. All right.
Oh, good idea.
Very good idea.
Stock up on oil.
Found lantern oil to be so damn useful.
Yeah.
But I've got 5 days worth of rations. Do you guys think that's going to be enough?
Seems like it.
Yeah, I think that's probably reasonable.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you do some sort of crazy ass Fae trickery, it's supposed to be just, day there, day back.
Yeah, but that's just what they say. See, maybe a day to them means something different. Could be that. I mean, but we could ask around and confirm that, like, before we leave, maybe. Actually, wait. Is the sky the same? Like, what time of day is it? Yeah.
It seems like it's the middle of the day.
Middle of the day. Okay, cool. See, I like how you said that.
And
seems like it.
Yeah, it's a crystal city, and the light reflects all the different colors of the spectrum everywhere.
Cool. And you said it took us a day to get here, right? And did we just get in this place? Like, just get into the Crystal City?
You've been there a couple hours.
Okay. Well, while we're in the oh crap, I should have wrote it down. The Regal Beagle, right? Is that the place?
Mm-hmm.
Where we're in? Okay. While we're in the Regal Beagle, Tamul is going to ask around about, like, what is it, like, kind of like who rules the place. Although I think you already told us that.
Yes.
Also,
Lord Umbrin is considered the ruler of Tarkos.
Okay, and he's missing, right?
Not really missing. He's just doesn't come here. I mean, he's the ruler, but he's. You would find out that he is the ruler of Shadow, and he sort of controls this place. And Clintock found out that when Skeleton stopped him and said if he needed anything, just to let them know.
Okay.
Because if you don't recall, well, I don't think you were here, but Clintock pledged his soul to Lord Umbrin so they could get out of the plane of shadow.
Yeah, this is the reason I didn't take any healing from anyone, because it wouldn't do anything for me.
Cool.
Potions work, other things don't. Oops.
Right, clerical healing does not work on Clintock. You would also know that Lord Three Moons Waxing, who lives at Distant Shore, wants to be the ruler of Tarkos one day. He believes he should be.
Okay, cool. Okay, then, yeah, I guess, Tamul, he'll be ready to go and see what lies beyond this Crystal City.
All right. Very
What say the rest of you?
Karn's like, I don't know about all this, but if that's what you guys want to do, then that's what we'll do. Let's keep our eye out. I can sure use some armor.
But yeah, he's going to pack up his stuff and, get his staff, all that good stuff.
Yeah, Karn definitely has reservations about taking the Fae road, but we haven't committed to it yet. So he's not sure how Cuthbert feels about the Fae.
Okay.
Actually, I think he says Cuthbert He already said that. Cuthbert says never trust the Fae or something.
Yes, you did say that. Yes. Never trust the Fae.
Okay. So far, we have one vote for going across the ocean, and one maybe, pending an answer from God. What about John Tor and
Orion? I mean, Orion's still helping out Remy, and the only way we're likely to help out Remy is if we get some sort of shortcut to the Infinite Road, which would be the Fae. Because if Captain Bosun just takes us across, I think we're still stuck way the hell away from what's going on. And John Tor is, for all the fact that he is of average intelligence, he's not exactly what they call self-motivated, 8 wisdom, which is why he got kicked out of his family. So he's going to follow whoever feeds him best at the moment.
Okay.
Clintock is totally up for visiting the Fae. And Felix will just go along with the general opinion, as he doesn't care much where he goes, as long as he can practice his swordsmanship.
Okay, so we have 3 yeses and three maybes. So it looks like. So 3, depending on the circumstances. So
well, we're supposed to go here and find out whether that's what we want to talk to this guy, so we can decide whether that's what we want to do, right?
Yeah, he may know a way to get to the Infinite Road. I think Sir Lorson Starsprite, I believe he said that Lord Three Moon Waxings knew about the Infinite Road and would be able to at least know where it is, or be able to tell you how to get there, or something. He would have some kind of information.
And Sir Moonwaxing is supposedly across the ocean or here?
He's where he's at a place called Distant Shore, and it's where you're going.
Gotcha. Makes sense. All right. I'm ready. I don't know about you guys.
All right.
Who's rowing is the question. Now, who's rowing?
There's an oar for all of you. So all of you are rowing.
No. Well,
Johnson is definitely going to hate that. Wait a minute. It's a Fae boat. It's supposed to go by itself, right? Why the heck are we going to have to row? Orion smacked him upside the head.
Okay, so basically it's 2 people, 2. So just tell me what the order is. And 1 person sort of in the back to steer. So just tell me how you're going to align.
Clintock will offer to steer.
Okay.
He says, I'm not one much for manual labor.
Is Zofan technically a sailor?
Yes. So to avoid any me having to play Zofan and Basil Bessix, they are staying behind, and they will take a ferry boat later because Tobias Eddington would like to start. He's decided he wants to start training with Basil Bessix, and they're going to come up with a training regiment.
Nice.
Okay, so Clintock in the back. So yeah, I want Tamul to be in the middle, the second row.
Okay, so Tamul is in the middle. All right.
Arn will be right up front.
Okay.
I'm rowing the hardest.
On the left side, I'm going to put Karn, and behind him is Tamul.
That works.
Felix can go next to Karn. He's probably the next strongest.
Yep. Felix is on the right side. Okay.
Put Basil W next to Tamul.
All right, Basil W, and then that leaves Orion and John Tor in the back.
Okay, well, it hardly matters who's behind who, but if we're sort of distributing strength, Orion would be opposite of Basil W, and John Tor would be behind Basil W.
Basil W is pretending to row, just like making the motions.
So on the left side, we've got Karn, Tamul, Orion. On the right side, we've got Felix, Basil W, and John Tor. You can see that they bring out various boats, like one to fit your group. They have bigger or smaller ones. They plump it in the water. The elf hands you a small, not really a sack. It's like wrapped in some kind of wax paper. And he says, give this to the harbor master when you arrive. This is your payment.
Who does he hand that to?
Whomever takes it.
Yeah. Tamul, he'll go ahead and grab it.
All right.
He said, good luck to you. Do not stray from the path, whatever you do.
Right.
Understood.
Oh,
All right. So, and then you begin to row down that way. And as you're rowing down, you're just passing the reeds and what looks like lion's tails sticking out of the water, flapping. And you can hear the ocean on either side as it's moving. You know, it's moving out away from you, and the water is just bubbling up, and you can see it as the path kind of like meanders back and forth. And let's see, Wes, give me a D6 roll.
2.
All right, give me a D20.
10.
All right, so about 4 hours in, I mean, you can smell the salt air. You maybe hear birds every once in a while. The light doesn't seem to change. It seems like the sun or whatever is in the sky is at the same point the entire time. It doesn't seem very hot, but as you're moving down and you're going around a pass, you see sitting on like pieces of driftwood floating 3 goblins. They don't seem to notice you yet.
okay, that's weird.
They seem to be talking amongst themselves.
Can Basil make out what they're saying?
No, you're not close enough for that. You see them up ahead. You know, obviously Karn and Felix would spot them, you know, first.
We've had goblin friends or hobgoblin friends in the past, so.
True, and you remember the goblins you encountered in the Fae the last time.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys have like bluish skin.
Does that mean something to any of us?
No.
Sventok will glance down at his compass briefly once it's pointed out to me. They're goblins.
It points to one of them. It seems to like point in a general direction of one of them. They're talking. They have. They're kind of like sitting on driftwood. Their legs are in the water, and they're wearing just, you know, leathers and cloaks, and they're kind of just sitting conversing like in a group. They're both on their own little pieces of driftwood.
And somehow Clintock, who is never charitable, decides that we have to rescue them. Oh boy.
Yeah, Tamul, he's going to, I don't know, you know, should we call out to them?
How far are they away?
We'll say 30 feet away.
Oh, Clintock just yells, "Ahoy, sailors!"
They look up and you see them, and they got like these big googly eyes, and they just kind of look at you, and then they go back and they kind of like huddle together, and then one says, come this way.
You come this way.
Oh, wait a minute. Is it off the path?
No, they are in the path.
Oh, they're in a way. Okay. So Tamul's going to ask them in Goblin, like how they got here.
They kind of like curiously look at you like, huh? Almost like they don't understand what you're talking about. Like they don't understand what you're speaking.
So they don't speak Goblin.
Did they speak to us in Goblin or Common?
No, Common.
Clintock will say in neutral, "Got anything for trade?"
Trade. They speak it back in Common. Trade. No. Maybe we can trade.
What do you have?
He holds up looks like a couple coins. I have some coins, and the other one goes, "Turn away. Turn away."
Coins? I mean, everyone has coins, right? How would you get by in this world? Anything more interesting? I mean, one man's trash is another man's treasure and all.
Right. We're playing a game. Would you want to play a game with us?
What game is that?
Ooh, he wants to play.
I asked the game, not that I wanted to play.
It's pull the lion's tail, and you see like the lion's tails swaying in the breeze. Pull the lion's tails.
You first.
But you have to go next after us.
Sure.
What do you have? Do you have anything to play? Do you have something to offer?
I have many things to offer.
Like what?
Oh, I don't know. So many things. I wouldn't want to reveal a surprise, but until we've actually played the game.
No. Okay. Are you from the mortal world?
Are you accusing me of something, sir?
The two of them snicker, and then one slaps the other one in the back of the head. Sorry, no. Okay, I will go first. And he pulls, and it looks like, a plant comes out. He just pulls it out. Okay, your turn next. You go next.
Does he put it back in the water?
Yeah, he kind of drops it in the water.
All right. I will guide
No,
us
don't do
close to it.
Okay.
This
And
is
then-
Russian roulette. No.
And then pull the same tail.
You really can't because it just lays in the water floating. So
Okay.
This is some crazy fey Russian roulette. That's what it's got to be. You're gonna pull that lion's tail. It's gonna be an actual fucking lion. That's what's gonna happen. It's just gonna come out and start beating our asses.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm betting the same way, but Orion learned the futility of getting in Clintock's way long ago. You ride the fucking wave, and amazingly enough, it generally comes out in the end. You do not get in Clintock's way when he's got, money to be made.
Fair enough.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm first gonna like put my hand towards a bunch of them, like just like go to grab like as if I'm choosing. And I'm gonna try to attend to the eyes of the one who I've been conversing with, or actually no, the one who first showed me the coins, and try and see if I can garner some insight. Let me know if I can roll anything to like.
so what are you trying to like figure out?
I'm looking for like any sort of tell from the one who seemed more open about revealing information to see if I can catch him off guard as to what I should or shouldn't grab.
Yeah, you don't pick up anything that just anticipation, like excited that you're playing the game with them.
All right. And at this, I will hold on to the boat so to steady myself, and then look under the water.
Okay.
Whoa,
It looks like, you can see some of the roots and stuff from the various plants, but there's some fish.
Yeah. One last thing before I just like wildly grab is I'll take a peek with my monocle and say, oh, I just need to inspect these a little bit further.
Yeah, you don't, nothing magical on them shows up.
All right. I'm just going to grab one then.
All right, roll a d6.
4.
Yeah, you hear the snap and you pull out like it's a lion's tail plant, and then you have it in your hand. He's like, oh, okay. Who's next?
One of you.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm not playing.
And you see the big pot-belly goblin's like, oh, God, all right, fine. And he pulls out one. Oh, and they, throw it in the water. Okay, who's next?
I'll go again.
They're like, can he go again? Is that the rules of the game? It is now. Go again. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, these guys are up to shit. I mean, of course they're up to shit. It's like saying, water flows downhill or whatever.
What if they're just high the whole time and there's no actual? they just sharing a blunt and it's just like, oh yeah, dude.
There is that point. We could be playing with the Fey equivalent of stoners.
Can I attempt to move silently to take one of the marbles from my pocket and just like chuck it in a way that's behind where we're looking, or like whatever, to like attempt to distract them?
You're gonna try to distract them?
Fine. Yeah.
Just give me a dex roll. Just roll under your dex.
Yep. Success.
You chuck a marble and you hear a splash.
Mm-hmm.
So there's one that's kind of like turned next to you, and the other, they all kind of look to see where the splash was.
Okay. And in that moment, I will grab one of the lion's tails that's already been pulled, and then toss it, like have it in my hand and wait till they turn around.
They turn back and they're like, oh, but that was nothing. Okay. Well, what do you think that was? Did you see anything back there?
I don't know. You guys are probably more familiar than we are. We're just merely travelers along the road.
Yes.
No, this is it's that way. I don't know what are you talking about?
This is the road? No.
That way, right.
Have you been this way before? Or only that way?
No, we've never had the opportunity to go this way. We only go that way.
Well, always worth trying.
Okay. Well, the other one's like, you're next, you're next. They poking at him. You're next, you're next. Then the third one, who looks kind of gangly, he just takes his hands out of the water and he goes and tugs, snaps off, and they all just, oh, okay. Oh well, we probably should get going.
Already done playing the game?
Well, you want to keep playing? We can play. Yeah, let's keep playing.
Well, no, you've clearly lost. All of you have pulled and nothing came up. No prizes or surprises.
He reaches into his pocket and he flips you a copper coin.
A copper coin, sir.
Yes.
I know your pockets are deep.
He like reaches into, you can see his hand like reaching into his pocket, and he pulls out like 2 or 3 gold coins. He said, "There's nothing," and he stuffs up. Then here.
Oh, fine then. I just know now that never to trust a goblin. They don't gamble properly.
And then the potbelly ones looks, look what you did. You're ruining the game. Give him one of your coins.
See, I was going to give you one of these and I'll flash a silver coin, but you've already lost. So,
when you flash the silver coin at them, they kind of like move back. They're like, we don't want that.
you don't want that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
What's their problem with silver? I mean, I know they have problems with cold iron, but what's their problem with silver?
Let me do one more, because you guys pulled 3 times. So
Yes. Oh, okay. And he pulls out a gold coin and flips it to you.
I'll catch it.
All right.
And then I'm going to make a... Did they... Well, we've already put our hands and stuff in the water before, so the water isn't going to actively kill us.
No, it's... Yeah,
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to like reach for one of them and then fall into the water and then play like I'm drowning for a moment.
Okay.
Just to get a reaction. And then I'll go from there depending on what their reaction is.
Okay. All right. So you do that and you slip and fall into the water.
Yeah.
Okay. You do realize the water, as soon as you fall in, is a lot deeper than you thought. Like your feet don't touch the ground.
Gotcha. Yeah, I didn't expect it to be.
Okay. So yeah, you're just kind of in the water, and then they're like, they sort of laugh and chuckle at that you're seeing, and they pull a piece of driftwood that is like in the brush or whatever out, and they start pushing it towards you. And when they push it towards you, you can see that it's got blood all over it. And they're like, "Here you go, quick, grab onto this piece of driftwood."
So how far are they away from me at this point?
They're probably like 5 feet away. I mean, they're like right there.
Can I reach to their piece of driftwood that they're on and just tug it down?
Yes, you can.
All right, I'm gonna do it.
All right. Yeah, you grab it and like tip it, and he's like, no, that piece. And he goes right in the water, and he's like flopping around. He's like, get me out of the water, grab the driftwood. He's
I'll
trying
attempt to
grab it.
rescue him.
Yeah, that's not suspicious at all.
Yeah.
What do you want me to
I'll
attempt to rescue him out of the water?
I like, what are you trying to do? Just grab him?
Yeah, just grab him and like hoist him back up onto the driftwood.
You can just do that. Yeah, he's not very big.
I was going to try to push the bloodstained driftwood to him. That's the more fun option, but okay,
Oh.
your play. Somebody has learned to go along with the Clinton. That's always amusing.
I say, "Ooh, that was a close one. You should really practice your swimming skills. I mean, it's rough out here,
Yeah.
and you're only on a piece of driftwood.
Yeah.
You don't even have a boat.
No, we don't.
But considering that I saved your life, I think that's worth something."
The other two just kind of look at him like, oh, okay. He reaches in and pulls out another copper piece.
No. The shiny rock.
The shiny rock.
You could have died.
The other two are like, you could have.
That's what Wilberforce is like. He's right, you could have died.
Could have died.
So he's like hoisted himself up under the driftwood, covered, he's all wet, and he pulls out of his pocket. He's like so reluctant. He reaches into his pocket, pulls out a little sack and pulls out an emerald gem.
Oh,
And it kind of like sparkles in the light. He's like, for saving my life.
what a fitting reward. I know you must be green with envy, much like the stone that you're giving me.
The other two just laugh at him.
Reach for it and climb back into the boat.
Okay. Yeah, you get back into the boat.
You guys really need to practice your con game. I'm just putting that out there.
Ryan is sitting there trying to, come up with a mnemonic to remember this particular Clintockism. Yeah, that's what we're going to call them these days.
Clintockism.
Not that I haven't gotten a ridiculous amount of stories to tell from this group anyway, but the Clintockisms are always the best.
Yeah, as you guys just kind of start paddling back, the potbelly one, just like, we're never going to get to Tarkos till we keep stopping and doing this stuff. Come on. And they just start, pushing themselves back up that way. Russell, give me a D6 roll.
That'll be a 5.
Okay, so the next 4 hours go peacefully. Nothing happens. The same kind of scenery, the bubbles, the reeds, and the various. Every once in a while, maybe you hear a shorebird go
The
by.
water striders, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah, and the sun never seems to change. Alex, give me a D6 roll.
That's gonna be a 5 for me.
All right, another hour passes. The wind sort of begins to pick up a little bit. And every once in a while, you swear you can feel like a chilling breeze blow through, like almost bone-chilling cold. But it's only for a couple seconds, and then it kind of passes.
Did anyone else feel that?
I felt it.
Oh, yeah. Very cold.
Think there's a storm pulling in? Ooh.
Paul, D6.
4.
When that bone chilling thing rolls out, I sort of look at Clintock and see his reaction. Of course, what am I looking there for? If it's from his packed lord, he's not going to feel bad about it, but whatever.
All right. Paul, give me a D8 roll.
2.
You guys are about 12 hours. This is about 12 hours of rowing. It's a lot of rowing. And every once in a while, that wind will blow. And it lasts just a couple seconds, enough to like, whoa, that is cold. And it's gone. And then ahead of you, you see a school of fish like swarming around, and they all sort of swarm around, and then you can see them under the water, kind of form, like they all face you, and it almost looks like they make a big circle, and it's a dark circle. Like one side of them is all like black. Karn and Felix would spot this first. You see what looks like different fish in this. They formed like this big, like solid circle, flash, almost like white iridescent. They spell out hello with like the H and then the E and then the LLO.
These are technically animals doing this, right?
Yeah.
It's fish, but it's technically animals. Karn's eyes light up and he goes, hello!
Nice.
And they form a big smiley face.
Felix like starts to grab his like fishing pack and then just goes, maybe not yet.
Karn shoots you a quick, dirty look.
Karn's in the front row, right?
Yep.
So I can't get to him directly. Who is right behind Karn? Yeah, I'll sort of lean over and not whisper, but just, quietly tell Timon. If the big guy there starts looking like his eyes are glazing over, like he seems fascinated, do grab onto him, would you?
Should I grab onto him with my staff? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I'm going in the water. I'm just giving you a heads up here. This is Faye we're dealing with here.
Okay, I'll make sure to do that. I'll keep a close eye on him.
When they make the smiley face, Karn smiles back.
Nice.
And he gives them a blessing, like the sign of a blessing from Cuthbert.
You see what looks like hands forming like this.
Look, friends, followers of Cuthbert, here where you would not expect them.
Felix just goes, yeah, I wouldn't expected fish to be faithful.
Cuthbert is a friend of all animals.
John Tarkos, oh, that's cool. I wonder, I guess animals drink too. I wonder how they like a little wine. John Thor will take out one of his wine skins and sort of angle the nozzle so he can give a good squirt of wine over towards the fish.
The wine hits the water, and they all like scatter. Looks like they're swarming around it, and then they form again.
Is he trying to throw a fishing line in there?
Wine.
No,
Wine. Okay.
This is John Thor we're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
He's got to share the love.
The,
Trying to turn the fish into alcoholics.
it seems like when they get back together, they all flash what looks like a person burping. Like they make that motion with their mouth.
John Thor's gonna laugh his ass off. I mean, that's so cool to him. Orion's getting more and more vicious. You know, we're in the middle of. Wait a minute, is this way or that way? I can't remember. We're in the middle of one of these damn ways, and something weird is happening. It's never good in the old stories, you know.
Felix like nudges Karn and says, "Well, I don't know about you, but I'm getting tired of rowing. You think you can convince them to give us a shove for a little bit?"
Friend Fish, you think that you could perhaps help us along our way?
He's doing it. Don't believe it.
Yeah, they all swim under the boat and come up back the other side and all kind of form together like in a tight like line and start pushing the boat.
Felix gives him a good pat on the back. Well, I'll be. Praise Cuthbert.
Indeed, praise Cuthbert.
And then
First at Crystal City, now talking fish.
They start pushing you. They push you probably for like 5 minutes. And then eventually they kind of move back and form again, and they flash out like, "Good luck."
Karn says, "Thank you, dear friends, for your wonderful aid. Cuthbert keep you and bless you in your travels."
And the final thing that you see looks like the outline of a person holding a mace.
Hell yeah.
And
Nice.
then you go for like another 20 minutes. And all of a sudden, that bright, like, sun is gone. It's like twilight.
Oh.
And you can hear the ocean. And you can hear somebody yell, "Land this way! Keep rowing! Land this way!"
Uh-huh. Is the voice coming from the direction that we're supposed to be taking, or is it trying to lead us?
Yes, it is. It is. It is coming from from where you're supposed to be coming from.
Well, we'll keep rowing, I guess.
Row.
And you hear something hit the water in front of you. It looks like a rope, and it's like it comes like out of nowhere. And there's like a thick fog that is rolled in. Grab the rope. You're almost at distant shore. Grab the rope.
Karn reaches out for the rope.
Whoever grabs the rope, if it starts tugging us off keep an eye on the water. If it starts tugging us off the correct path, let the rope loose. I'm still looking for the hook in this story.
So, you grab the rope and, you're pulling and you can hear like, "Leaf, pull stronger, pull." And the boat starts to move, and then the fog just kind of goes right past you, and you are on like a shore. You see rocks, and there's a man standing there like it's not a dock, more like just like a bunch of stones. He looks human. He is wearing a pea green puffy shirt with a matching kilt, and he has a I think it's called a chaperone. It's like it's on his head, and that a coral pink chaperone, and he's got sandals, and Clintock would notice this because he has got a very nice bracelet that is around his wrist, and he's got like a bullhorn. He's like, "Row, come quickly!" And he turns behind him, and there are some trees, and it kind of goes up a bank.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see behind him is a big person, and then you realize it's an ape who's pulling that rope. He's like, "Pull harder, Leaf, pull harder."
Clintock just says from the back, "You heard the man, row."
And he pulls like right next to him, and he's standing there, and he pulls his boat. "Welcome to Distant Shore. I am Mortimer Whitefish, and on behalf of Three Moons Waxing, I welcome you. Do you have the payment?"
Yes, yes, of course. Antonio gets the wax wrapped paper.
Yeah. Oh, he like drops that megaphone and grabs it, unwraps it. He's like, "Oh, red velvet, my favorite," and he starts eating it.
It's cakes, of course.
He's like, Leaf and Kitty, bring this boat ashore. We need to. And in the background, you can see it is definitely an ape who's doing all the work. He's like pulling this boat in, and he comes walking up. He's wearing like this corduroy cloak, but he's got like an apron on, like something like a cook would wear. And he comes in and he starts pulling the boat up on the shore. And on a stump, you see a cat-like person standing on two legs. And he's like, he's got some kind of dagger and he's like jabbing it into a cutout piece of wood, like he's like practicing something. He's wearing a pumpkin colored cape with arm wraps and pantaloons, and he has a sepia surcoat. He's like, like he's in the middle of practicing his dagger, and Mortimer's eating the cake. He's like, Kitty, over here, quickly, come on. Leaf can't do this all by himself.
Karn is paying attention to his technique and his style and wondering if there's any criticism that he could give him about it, or if he's admiring the style, or is it really terrible?
It is definitely, you would call it reckless.
Kind of amateurish?
Yeah, just kind of like, it's a very offensive kind of style. Like anybody with any kind of skill would easily be able to take him out.
Okay, so while we got a fraction of a second, I forgot to note down the guy's name. Could you repeat it for me?
Mortimer Whitefish.
Mm-hmm. Mortimer Whitefish.
And he loves red velvet cake.
Loves it.
John Tort's going to look at the, obviously bizarre colors around him and go, man, they always have the best fashion set.
It's going to schmooze them up.
Translation, John Tort does it.
The ape is doing all the work. He pulls the boat on the shore, and like the little cat person comes running over and is sort of like pushing it. And you can see that they've got like a rack about 30 feet away where they've got other boats that they've sat, on there to like dry or whatever. And it's kind of like hard. It's just, it's what you would expect a shore to be, rocks and some dirt, and there's some trees, and it's like there's an embankment. And it's very cloudy. Like clouds are really completely different than when you were taken that way. It's just cloudy, kind of overcast.
Right. So we didn't see any clouds forever, and then we get, almost there, and suddenly it's cloudy and everything.
Correct.
More Fae fun.
What? The weather can change.
Sorry, Orion's still looking for the hook here. Okay, this was sort of neat. Although Mortimer does have a point, or who was it? Was it Mortimer who said, why would we keep people away? Why would they make it difficult to get here? It's getting away that's always the fun.
True.
Some more. Well, welcome to Distant Shore. Come. The Lord will be with you momentarily. He surely will know your arrival.
Is there a place where we can rest our arms? They are extremely tired.
If Basil Besix were here, he would be.
Oh,
he
yeah.
would be telling you exactly how your training regiment sucks, and the reason, and I can get you a shave.
But he's not here, so Karn gives him a healthy slap on the back and says, "Don't worry, my friend. As you use your arms more, they'll get stronger on their own. This is the way that Cuthbert wills it.
Ow.
Just ignore the pain. Keep the thoughts of Cuthbert in your heart and ignore that pain. See your way through it."
Right.
Very well, Karn.
Clintock pipes up. I understand, Tamul. My arms are also very tired. I did get out for a swim, if you remember. Oh, and by the way, Mortimer, can I ask you for a change of clothes? I seem to have fallen in.
And as he's about to speak to you, up on the bank, standing there is an elven man who his face looks very pale, almost like he's wearing a mask, and his hair kind of blows a little bit, and it's the consistency of it's silver and white, but it's the consistency of cobwebs.
Intriguing.
And he has a long, extravagant pearl and slate blue damask silk coat.
Ooh.
And sort of you can see as he steps closer is like dragging on the ground. And he says, "Oh, change of clothes and a place to rest. Welcome to distant shore. We will go to the auberge where you will dine with me, and we will get you some food and rest. Welcome to distant shore. I am Lord Three Moons Waxing."
Jamal's gonna, slightly bow and be like, "Thank you for your hospitality, sir."
"It's my pleasure, my pleasure." Leaf. He's like lugging the boat, like you see him pushing up on the thing. He's, "Leaf, prepare the food for our guests. Come, travelers, come. I'm sure you're tired."
Good. I thought he was saying thief for a second there, and we were going to be in trouble.
Well, there's a few of those around, so
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Right.
Allegedly.
Orion will also partially bow and say, "It is an honor to be your guest."
The pleasure is all mine, friends. You have traveled from Tarkos, I believe.
Yes, we have.
Yes, we have.
Come. And as you notice, as like the clouds break for a moment and the moonlight comes down and hits him, his whole body sort of glimmers and shimmers, and then the clouds cover up the moon again and it dies. Come to the auberge. Dinner will be served, clothes will be given and dried. We'll have a sit down.
Clintock gives a very exaggerated bow and says, "Pleasure for you to meet my acquaintance," and then keeps walking.
Nice.
For you to meet my acquaintance.
Very self-centered my friend Clintock is. But tell me, have you heard of the word of Cuthbert?
Oh, God.
Cuthbert.
Cuthbert, the Lord and Savior.
The mortal
What is
saints.
your-
I don't believe I've heard of this mortal saint Cuthbert, but I am sure that you will tell me all about it. I look forward to hearing the great stories.
Oh, yeah.
He drapes an arm around his shoulder and says, "Yes, let me tell you of Cuthbert. For in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was light."
God.
Nice.
So you make your way to the auberge. You travel about 200 feet, and there is this two-story building that looks very old, and it looks like it could use some work. Like it's a fixer-upper. Some of the plank boards have fallen. There's like a crack in the window. Some of the steps aren't even going up to the door. And looking over on the another side, you can look. It looks like a field for like crops, but there's nothing growing. Like it just looks like tilled land. But and you notice a lot of rocks, and there's piles of rocks near it. Probably like they're taking rocks out.
Okay.
And he's walking up to the door, and Leaf, the ape, is running. You can hear him come from behind you. He runs up to the door and opens it. "Thank you, Leaf. Excellent." And he walks in, and Leaf's just standing there like huffing and puffing. And behind him, like slowly moving up towards the auberge, is the cat person, just kind of taking his time. And he leads you into like a big dining hall. And
sorry, is this one of those cases where the interior is bigger than the exterior?
No. There's a large table, and there's a lot of dust in here. A couple of the chairs have been repaired. You can see that they've been cracked or broken, and they've been fixed. It's kind of in rough shape, and Leaf comes in and starts, pulling all the chairs out, for you guys to have a seat. I'll be back with the clothes. Hold on. And he walks over to a trunk in the corner of the room and starts fishing through some clothes. He looks over to you like he's gauging how big you are.
Gives me the idea that this guy isn't in the best of circumstances. Oh, well. We'll see if he can help us.
Only your finest vestments.
They're all the finest. he takes out like a cloak and shakes it, and a bunch of moths go flying.
They're all the finest. Good one.
Oh, maybe it'll cover up the mothball smell. What do I know?
Tell me, while you have garments back there, do you have any armor suitable for a man of my stature?
So does this your prophet or some sort of knight then for this Cuthbert? Did they not provide you with this armor or weapons?
Well, I was originally provided with armor, but it was taken from me, and Cuthbert provides. I'll find it when I need it.
Oh, very well. I do have yes, I do believe we have some armor, maybe in the back somewhere, but that comes, of course, by pledging fealty to myself, falling under the banner of my house.
Oh, well, I think it would have to work the other way for me. Your house would have to pledge fealty to Cuthbert.
Oh, very well.
But I mean, that's okay. That's okay. Allies are allies, and friends are friends.
Yes. So that 8 leaf comes over with some clothes for you. The clothes are like faded. They look more gray than anything. Like they're very absent of color, and they have a couple holes here or there, none in revealing places. And he says, "I will take the wet clothes to dry."
Oh yes, please do hang them out.
Yes, I will. Yeah, and that like you see that cat come waltzing in, and Lord says, "Kitty, take the man's clothes and hang them out to dry." He's like, "Sure, right on that," and walks right by them, and just kind of like he walks and goes. He leaves the room. Well.
It's hard to find good help around here, I'm sure.
Yes, it is. It is very difficult these days. But tell me, why have you come? Are you just passing through? Do you have dinner will be served momentarily here? Don't worry. Only the finest for my guests.
So while Tamul is sitting down at the chair, he'd like to, while he's asking the questions, Tamul's going to be rather quiet, and he's going to look and see if there's any kind of like scratch marks on the chairs where the armrest would be.
Scratch marks. Is there something specific? Like people dug their hands into the chair, like because they were attacked?
Yeah, because they were attacked or restrained. Either one of those.
No, there's nothing that seems to be that. It just it looks like just they're old and just probably could use some sanding and painting again. Something like that.
Okay, interesting. Well, he's going to look forward to the food now.
Leaf, is doing all this work, and the Lord is standing there, and you can see that there's a skylight that comes down. Every once in a while, the clouds will part, and the moonlight comes down. It hits him, and you see his whole body like shimmer, and then the clouds will pass, cover it up again, and so his seat is like specifically set up for that.
Who shivers when the moonlight hits him?
Lord Three Moons Waxing.
So he doesn't like it when the moonlight hits him.
No, you don't get that impression at all. No.
Oh,
he just shimmers.
His seat. He has a seat at the table that's sort of angled right under a skylight.
Oh.
So the moonlight will come in, and you will see, and it's noticeable when it hits him.
So it's like a good shimmer.
Yeah.
You said shimmer, not shivers. Okay, sorry. I thought you said shiver, and I thought I was like, oh, he doesn't like it when this happened.
Yeah, and the door opens, and Mortimer comes in, wiping his face from the cake. Oh, what a walk! I think it gets longer every time. Mortimer, please, some wine for our guests. Come on. Leaf is taking care of other things. And he's like, what about, you see, he goes into another room. He comes out, he hands you all glasses. They're clean enough. And he has a bottle, and he starts, pouring you all some Lady Mauve wine. Special from Fairy. You should enjoy it.
Sounds exquisite.
Do you perhaps have any water?
We have water as well, yes. Mortimer's like, yes, water, yes, water.
Thank you. Those who serve and walk in the paths of Cuthbert abstain from the walk. No offense.
None taken. Prophet of Cuthbert.
Tamul, he's going to take some of the wine and start, sipping it.
Okay.
So does Basil.
Definitely, John Forrest going to be taking a good swig of that stuff, and Orion's going to figure that since we're guests here, it's probably all good, and he's going to be taking.
Yeah. So when you taste it, it has a violet color. It tastes of plum and like charred lavender, and as you're drinking it, you don't feel your sorrows just kind of fade into the background. You feel a little bit better.
Clintock, after a long day of rowing, is just like throwing them back.
A long day of what?
I mean,
Earring.
yeah, it's a lot of effort.
So he's drinking this as well, and kind of he's looking at you, and he says, "You don't seem like." He looks at Clintock. You are familiar with the soil, I believe, but I don't think you're here for anything to do with farming.
Oh, farming? I haven't farmed in quite a while.
Yes, and
it's a young man's trade.
Yes, and none of you have brought any children, or he kind of looks. So, you're just passing through then?
We were told you might be able to help us with a couple of pursuits of ours.
Oh, yes, pursuits. Speak. Tell me what you wish to know. What I wish to know.
I will spin it into a little tale, not going into details because one does not talk about dragons behind their back, but how our employer is nobly attempting to cure a friend of hers of a terrible rot, and how we need to, there's supposedly a cure up in wherever, the God's Battleground or whatever down the Infinite Road, and how we unfortunately got separated from her, and we're attempting to get back up with her. Just trying to spin it into a little more of an interesting tale, and include all the bits like the traitorous ape empire incurring on land that they had previously held to be the Hobgoblin. A few of our more amusing misadventures. And that is but one of the things we would be interested in seeking help on.
You are looking for the Infinite Road.
Yes.
I do know of a gate that is in a mortal place called the Dolmenwood. As he says that, you can see he kind of looks longingly off into the distance, like he's very wistful.
Have you been there before?
Oh, yes. Right. I used to live in the Dolmenwood.
Cuthbert tells us that the Dolmenwood can be dangerous to the mortal types.
Can be dangerous. Yes. Just like anywhere else, it can be dangerous.
Should we say it can contain an extra amount of danger for the mortals?
I don't think it's any more dangerous than any other place that you speak of in this empire.
Then why doesn't everyone take the road?
Are you speaking of the Infinite Road? It is difficult to find.
The Dolmenwood isn't.
The Dolmenwood is still difficult to find, yes.
Oh, okay.
It is a place where the ferry and the Plain of Gates meet. Or, as you would say, the Infinite Road.
Right.
What does somebody who isn't a fairy have to do to get to the Dolmenwood?
Well, if you were to head south from here, along a path known as traversing through Toadflax, and follow the lighthouses, in 3 days you should reach the Dolmenwood.
Traversing through what?
Toadflax.
What a peculiar name.
They have frogs there.
I assume, yes.
Well, I mean, from the name alone, I assume they have toads, but...
Yes, Toadflax, it is a flower.
I am a mere farmer, not a bot.
Yes. So you seek the Infinite Road to find your friend who may be there in her quest. It sounds like a very noble cause.
Yes, well, far less noble, but even more troublesome problem. I'm sure you can detect the whiff of mothball.
Yes, I do. And so he kind of gets up and walks over to Felix and gets real close to him and goes, takes this long, sucks in. My,
What is it?
I haven't smelt that. And then he proceeds to walk over to Orion and do the same thing. He does it to every single person who has had the interaction with the hags. It takes this. He gets really close. And he takes in this deep. And he's my, oh my.
When he gets close to Clintock will just reach out and touch his face with the back of his hand.
Okay.
And say, normally you have to buy me dinner first, but you did supply me with enough wine, so I think we're even.
Nice.
Wow.
When you touch his face, it's very cold.
Oh.
And it doesn't seem to it's almost like he has a mask. He smiles at you. And just, says the Twilight Cerulean.
What?
The Twilight Cerulean. You've encountered the Twilight Cerulean. The Hag Coven.
Name for the Hag Coven.
So they're infamous then?
Yes. They are the reason I am at Distant Shore and not in Dolmenwood anymore.
Ooh.
Oh.
So they are in Dolmenwood.
Yes. They're in Dolmenwood, enjoying their time there as I am relegated to Distant Shore.
With their stench upon us, a trip through the Dolmenwood seems extra dangerous.
No, you are in Fae. They can find you a lot easier than they can in the mortal world, regardless of where you are. They are a crafty bunch.
So what I'm hearing here is, Basil Wilberforce, is we gotta get the fuck out of here and get on that boat. Like, Basil Wilberforce wants nothing to do with those hags again. I mean, it was a few levels ago, but those hags were close to a TPK, weren't they?
Oh, yeah.
And apparently they're a famous coven. Yeah, they're bad news on burnt toast.
But the stench of the hags can be removed in Dolmenwood. If you go to the Lethean well and bathe yourselves in the waters, we'll remove it.
A special bath. Does it charge money to use this bathhouse?
It is not a bathhouse. It is a large body of water that you can bathe in.
All right.
Sounds a bit like we're getting railroaded to Dolmenwood. I'm sorry. Because
there is no railroading.
No, we can choose to go there or not.
You can feel that cold breeze come through where you're sitting, like past you, and it's like send a chill. And
does it seem to be coming from Mortimer?
No, it just seems to come out of nowhere. Like it passes like literally through the auberge.
Is the cold breeze the reason you don't have any crops growing?
Yes, because yes, I am close to Phrygia and the Cold Prince. Yes, the ground does not it's not conducive to crops, though I am consulted from time to time on growing various things. Like your ape empire came and brought a very peculiar item for me to examine. Looked like a piece of fungus.
Do you know what that is? Because they're planting it all over in the hot chocolate land.
Oh, Mortimer, yes. Bring out the gift from the apes. It's like, I thought I was done with this. And he goes back in the back and he comes out with a plate. Looks like a white ceramic plate with an apple on it. He takes out a knife and he cuts everybody a small little piece. This is and the Lord takes a piece and takes it. This here is the savory crisp apple. My favorite, of course. Have a bite.
You were so generous to share it with us.
Let me know what you think.
Sure, why the heck not?
Yeah.
Again, we're technically guests, so he shouldn't be able to do us any serious harm.
Clintock just says as he eats the apple, Have you thought about asking the prince to move?
He chuckles at that. So if you eat the apple or take a bite of it, you do save versus spells.
Oh, lovely.
Right.
I was gonna say Karn eats it, but Basil Wilberforce is like watching everybody to see what their reaction is.
That's fine. He's overly cautious, so that makes sense.
Yeah, but Karn is.
And here I was.
Karn wants to know what they're doing to him. Karn fails.
Both
Guntor
Clintock and
of
Felix
all
pass.
people,
Okay.
Guntor of all people succeeds. Orion does not.
Okay. For those of you that failed, it is not anything horrific or anything. Your mood towards the Ape Empire, you're sort of almost, you're indifferent, bordering on, they're not that bad. And he goes around as he watches you and says, now, and he looks at Karn, your thoughts on this Ape Empire once again?
Well, I'm not very happy that they've held me captive, but I was a bird in a gilded cage, so to speak, the way that they treated me.
And Orion, what is your thoughts on this Ape Empire?
Oh, I just want to keep away from them more than anything else.
And the others, you can notice very subtly in what they say that it's sort of like, he says, you see, just what I suspected. I heard you speak of the Ape Empire, but I believe they're doing something with these plants, this fungus that things grow from. Don't worry, whatever effects happen, they will fade in time.
You mean the fungus or the apple?
The influence that it has brought to some of you.
Basil Wilberforce sets it down without eating it and says, so Karn just didn't say that he'd like to see the Ape Empire toppled. And this is the reason why?
I believe that they are enchanting these fungus. So when they grow and produce whatever they produce, this is a side effect. Very subtle, I would say, on their part.
So they are attempting to affect the minds of the people to accept them more.
Wow. Ryan's like, what did I just see?
That's a little bit more evil than I think I'd want to be. How does that make you feel?
Oh, I'm glad that I have these apples once again. I used to enjoy some wine from the nearby grove, the Tideland cider, but I've made some of it. But I noticed that when I had eaten them, that some sort of strange effect. But
well, I've noticed that you've got an ape here.
Oh yes, that is part of the bargain that is struck. You see, I provided them with information, and they provided me someone to help for a determined particular amount of time, and then they will return.
So he probably also hears most your counsel, doesn't he?
Yes, Leaf. Yes, but he is a very good worker, and he is learning his trade. He is a cook's apprentice. He does very well.
Is Leaf in the room right now?
No, he is in the back, like cooking.
Okay.
You can smell something roasting.
I think suddenly Basil Wilberforce has lost his appetite.
Clintock just says, have you tried growing your own variety that makes people more conducive to your will and not necessarily the apes?
No, I do not wish to.
There's a turnaround.
To trick those into. I've had enough of that done to me. I do not wish to do that to others.
Oh, that's really noble of you. But you said you don't wish to trick others, but I think you're wearing a mask, good sir.
Oh, this is my elven form. We are different here in Fairy.
Oh, I just noticed that it was cold and very lifeless.
Oh, I appreciate the compliment.
Yeah, I mean,
well,
I appreciate the compliment.
So this infinite road, if you wish to get there, there's a gate in the Dolmenwood, which I would have to refresh my memory exactly where this is, but it is 3 days to the south. You look for the lighthouses Once you get to one, you look for the next one. You will see in the distance. It takes 3 days. Don't stray. Either way, you may. I don't know how far Phrygia has expanded since travelers have come down traversing through Toad Flax. I rarely get anyone coming from that road here. They always come from this Tarkos.
Do you know of a way to get a letter or a message back to somebody the other side to meet us there?
Yes, I do know of a way to try to get a letter to someone, and this is what you wish to do.
Well, I don't know. I'll confer with the rest of the group.
Yes.
Do you guys have any bright ideas on how to help our traveling companion find her way here?
Well, the issue is she's pretty dedicated to going. I think she's probably going to head out whether we're there or not.
If there was a spell of some sort that we could use.
Yeah, but I don't think we have anything.
We might not, but Moon Person here might.
That is true. Walks with Moons might. The 3 Moon Man.
I just don't know how we get her to the Dolmen Wood.
Well, perhaps
we're trying to get through the Dolmen Wood to meet her on the Infinite Road. Wasn't that the idea of taking this way? Is that it could shorten our travel and catch up with her on the Infinite Road? Because otherwise, what's the point? Why don't we just sail around?
He's going to be going home without us, pretty much guaranteed.
Yeah, she's going to go on without us. She was going to wait like a week, wasn't she?
3 days.
3 days, but she was willing to wait, and we've already gone 2 days into this. It's 3 days to get to the Dolmen Wood, and then we got to get through there to the Infinite Road. But she hadn't made it to the Infinite Road yet, but she's trying to get to the Infinite Road.
Yeah, I was sorry. I was just like, I was confused on where she was traveling to, that we were going to be able to meet her at the Infinite Road.
Yeah, she wants to get to the Infinite Road, and you go down the Infinite Road and you find the vampire guy who's got the stuff that, what is it, a flower? It's been months.
So we don't know if he has to, but he's in that area, and so is the flower.
Yeah, and that's what we need to heal Charlie the dragon.
Right. Yeah, I was just like, maybe I'm forgetting. But I was thinking that there was some gate that she was going to have to get
through. Yeah. So from her understanding is she is taking this, the pass all the way down, and then once she reaches, a certain point, she needs. The Infinite Road is there somewhere. She was going to find somebody that knows a gate, and you guys are here in Fairy, and he says, you go 3 days to the south. There's a gate there. You'll be able to get into Dolmen Wood to find somebody knows how to get to the Infinite Road. So are they the same? Is it the same gate? Probably not. They're probably 2 different gates.
Okay. So she was going to have to take the gate anyway. I thought she was traveling directly to the Infinite Road.
She was going to where she thought she could get in. Right. She'd try to find somebody. So there, it's obviously, there's not a lot of known entrances.
Right, but if she was going to have to find a gate anyway, and we could get her to meet us, then it might actually be a shortcut for her. But, I mean, our problem is, how the hell are we going to get in touch with her, and how the hell is she going to get her here?
Well, it sounds to me like this is a magic gate. So she's going to take a magic gate to get to the Infinite Road. That was, I think, our misunderstanding the entire time, was that she wasn't going somewhere and just like jumping on the Infinite Road. She was going to have to find a gate. So obviously it sounds like this must be a different realm, a different dimension. So we get to the Infinite Road and we hope we run into Charlie.
Dolmen Wood isn't in this realm as far as we know, right?
So as far as you know, it is not a fairy place. He says it's a mortal place, so it could be on your plane. It could be a mortal place, but you've never heard of it.
There's pathways to fairy through Dolmen Wood.
Right.
So yeah, we have to go to this place that may be on another plane, and then we have to go to the Infinite Road, which is probably a path through another dimension too, right? So
yeah, I mean, it'd be just like it's just like when you guys went to Shadow or like when you went to Ferry, the Infinite Road is kind of the same thing. That's what they call it. It's basically the plane of gates. But also the other X factor is you're in Ferry. When you step out of Ferry, you have no idea how much time has passed.
So basically, are we willing to gamble our yaks and everything that's on the yaks and the fate of Charlie and our friend, what's her face?
Remy?
Remy, on the time in Ferry will pass properly.
Yeah, I mean, like your option is you go south. You send a message to Remy, like decide what to do. You could go south 3 days, enter the Dolmen Wood. He'll tell you where the gate. Lord Three Moons Waxing knows where the gate to the Infinite Road is in Dolmen Wood. You find that gate. You get into the Infinite Road. Unknown amount of time will have passed, and maybe you hook up with Remy on the Infinite Road. Option 2 is you just head back, get on the boat with Bosun, go back around and try to catch up with her going the way you went. So you'd have to go back through through the mountains where the hobgoblins were, all the way back down.
Theoretically, this is quicker because the other route that you're suggesting would probably take us like what, a month, probably more, right?
No, not a month. It's probably like 5 or 6 days via the boat, and then another couple days down like that river and through those mountains, and then you're playing catch up the whole time trying to catch her and find where she went.
Maybe actually getting ahead of her.
Well, if we can just send a message, then we could give the benefit of the doubt to our good friend Remy that she can make some good executive decisions and meet us either at the Dolmen Wood or at the gate, and then we'll just link up that way. We can always backtrack.
Right. So you're saying head out to the Dolmen Wood and attempt to get ahead of her, and if that doesn't work, then at least leave her a message so that she can follow us.
Right.
Yeah.
And to be clear, this is not the DM saying, I want you to play in Dolmenwood and this is what we're going to do. So don't think that. This is just an option that you have.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But it looks like the best option at the moment. So,
well, one thing that does get taught to us by Cuthbert is that the meek shall inherit the earth in plots roughly 6 feet deep, and to the bold go the spoil.
Really? Okay, that's a little bit of a different take on Cuthbert stuff than I have heard before, but earth in plots 3 feet deep. I love it.
6 feet deep.
So
about 3 feet wide, 6 feet deep.
Tamul has some quill and paper. Write down whatever you guys want to.
I don't have to ask everybody. He said he was driven out of the Dolmen Wood by the hags, but I mean, does that mean they're in the Dolmen Wood? I mean, I'm not sure I want to show up. I'm not sure I want to show up in Hag Central, and go, oh yeah, we want to get your stench off of us, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was unclear to me whether it's like they're there all the time or it's just like a place that they frequent. Like, maybe they have like a home there or something, but do they live there full time? Unclear to me.
Yeah. This guy's been pretty decent to us. I'm wondering how to get him farmers, but haven't come up with any ideas yet.
We did get a good insight from them what the apes are doing with that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they're playing mind games.
Yeah, that in and of itself is serious nastiness. Freaking mind control.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, that's
plays into that whole encounter that Korn had with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Which guy?
When he was still locked up, the guy who's going to be the new MCOR, telling him that Cuthbert was really an ape, yada, yada, yada. That throws a shadow of distrust on that.
Wow. Yeah, that was bizarre to start out with, but wow.
Mm-hmm. That was hard to put a light on for me as a person and for Karn as a character, but for me as a player too. I was trying to decide which way that would go. So as a player, that influences me to think that it was deception and not anything real.
Yeah. Well, in any case, quick question, Pete, and maybe this is conversation, or maybe it was just something I missed. Did he said the hags drove him out of the Dolmen Wood? Does that mean that they're there?
Yes.
All the time?
He's not sure exactly where they are. I mean, they're in Ferry, so that means they could be anywhere. But yes, specifically, they were in the area he was in and kicked him out.
Dolmen One isn't in Ferry. It's in.
It's in the mortal. Yeah, it's in the mortal world.
Huh.
But this was a long time ago. He will tell you that what happened was, well, he will tell you that they convinced a Fey court to remove him from the Dolmen Wood. And, they kicked him out. But yeah, they slip into Dolmen Wood and into Ferry. He would say that Dolmen Wood is sort of a mortal place where they can slip in and out of very easily.
The walls are thin there.
Yeah, and he will also tell you that it happened a long time ago. Like listening to him talk, you would think, did this happen like 1,000 years ago or something?
Wow.
He is an elf.
Okay.
So.
Okay. A little happier now because it doesn't seem like we're walking to our.
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
About to walk into Hag Central.
I mean, maybe you can just find a different hag, and then the hag can fight over you.
Oh yeah, right. That's
But obviously, they have an express interest in us.
Perfect damn solution.
They tried to warn us of danger.
Solution. Kiss another hag. Yeah, that worked so well the first time.
Then you can just sit back and watch the hag mud wrestling match.
What? Mud wrestling match is crazy.
I mean, I assume at least some hags are bog hags, so they must feel at home in the mud.
What happens in Pay stays in Pay.
Are we decided on taking that road?
Back to the discussion. Our generic plan seems to be send the message to Remy that there's a infinite road gate to Dolmen Wood, and we're trying to get there and meet her at the infinite road. And she can decide whether the Dolmen Wood is easier than her current path.
Okay.
And then we head out to the Dolmen Wood and see if we can't wash off the stench of hag. And if that doesn't work as well as we would like, at least get the heck out to the infinite road. Does that sound like what our plan is?
Well, we still don't even know how we're going to send a message to Remy is the thing. Or are we just going to give it to Three Moons Waxing and see what he can do?
Yeah, he said that he should be able to get her a message.
Okay, cool. Great. Well, yeah, I'm all for that plan then. What about everybody else?
Sounds good.
Let's do it. I mean, Basil Wilberforce doesn't want to, but Karn's like, well, okay, if we got it. Because it sounds like, this is bold. This is a chance to get ahead and make sure. Whereas we're likely, if we go the safe way, we'll lose Remy and she'll get ahead of us. And, without us, she might die, blah, blah, blah.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I won't say die. She's
resourceful.
Resourceful on her own, but I like her, and we had a contract. There's two good reasons. There's two good reasons to attempt to fulfill the contract.
Keep our word.
Yep.
But Karn thinks that she might die. Because without Karn, nobody's safe. It's not rational. Don't try to figure it out. Karn's got a hero complex.
The world needs more heroes.
All right.
We wouldn't be right here right now if Karn didn't have a hero complex.
Yeah.
Everybody made it safe, right?
Yeah.
An excellent point.
So yeah, how long should we stay here is the question. Or are we leaving post haste?
Should probably rest the night.
We need to use that damn ointment that will hopefully get us. That will hopefully, reduce the condition, some of the long-term effects on our various members. Because I don't actually have anything, but I mean we've got.
Well, I still have a concussion, so that'll help with that. What's everybody else's injuries?
Clontalk is still down quite a bit. He'll probably take a swig off the wine bottle.
Wait, Clinton, how much are you down exactly? Or like health-wise?
I'm sitting at 7 out of 19. No healing, no normal healing does anything for me, but I'm -3.
Oh wait, you just went over that when we started.
Totally fine.
Yeah, I forgot. My bad.
I am -3 to everything right now, and -5 to my max hit points.
With how many days of duration on the -3 to everything?
I thought concussion was like a week or something.
Basically, in 9 days, Clintock will be fully healed.
And how many days worth of amelioration reduction of status effects? How many days have we got?
You've got 15 doses, so that's 15 days.
Okay.
Ah.
Oh, well, I think I wrote this down last time, or still be slightly off.
Okay, so all right, so everybody's status as of the 22nd. I am looking at a calendar right now. Okay, so as of right now, 1, 2, 3. For Felix, it's 3 more days.
Got it.
Clintock is 7 for his blood loss, and then 1 more day disabled. So 8 days for disabled. And for Tamul, for his concussion, it is 1, 2, 3. 3 more days.
4 days. Okay. Damn.
So, well, I mean, what I'm seeing is 15 days of problems and 15 restored. So if we want to, and we could hopefully spend the night here and lower all those by 1.
Mm-hmm.
So if we want to, we could basically bump everybody up to better health, because I'm still down a few hit points. But we could bump everybody. We could remove the damn ongoing effects from just about everybody tomorrow morning, and still have 3 doses left. Well, is it per effect or per person? So giving it to Clintock, is 1 dose going to reduce both his effects?
No, 1 dose you have to pick which one. He has 2 different effects. So you could pick disabled 8 days or the blood loss, which is 7. So technically that's 15 days worth.
So the blood loss does what? The disabled does?
The disabled is -1. Also, he's got a bad leg. So traveling, he's going to move a little bit slower. But I'm sure you can get somebody to carry him. And the blood loss, I believe that gives him a -2. Yes. Felix still can't wear armor. Felix is 3. And if you wait a day, then Felix will be down to 2. You could get Felix up with just 2 doses, and boom, you've got one of your fighters back to full strength, can wear armor now. I don't know if he has armor with him.
He does not.
So, but at least he's not rough. Negatives.
Right.
Neither of our fighters have armor.
Well, that's what happens when they lose their armor.
Freaking wonderful.
I mean, you could swear filthy to this guy.
Yeah.
Good.
15, 6, 21. Tomorrow we'll have 17. We'll still have enough tomorrow to clear. And Tamul, what does yours do? You've got it written down.
Tamul's is a concussion. He has -2 to everything. So Tamul, after tomorrow, he'll have 2 days. So you could knock his out with 2 doses if you wish. Zofan and Basil Bessix will stay back. If you guys continue down the road, I may have them tag along.
Tomorrow morning we could fix Felix and Tamul flat out. And let's see, that would be 6 + 7. We could flat out cure one of Clintock's conditions and put the other one in down fairly low, all in all. I'm for using all this stuff immediately. Save it for tomorrow. We know trouble is going to come tomorrow. We need to get our people fighting fit as much as we can.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
It's not a horrible idea.
Yeah.
Especially with everything that we've got going against us with our 2 fighters with no armor.
Worst case scenario.
Felix, who doesn't have any fealty to any particular religion or any other person, asks, what exactly does swearing fealty to you look like?
As the evening passes and, you guys are now eating your meal, I'm sure, which is some roasted antelope, some barbecue salmon, and fermented beets, radishes, and turnips, with a side of almond pudding. And he says, well, if ever I am in need of your assistance, I will call upon you. Most of the time, only elves are allowed to swear fealty, but I don't mind mortals as well. I would just ask you if that you see these or encounter these hags, that you will slay them for me.
Oh yeah, that'll happen.
Well, I do always enjoy the opportunity to plunge my blade into a foe.
I thought I was going someplace else.
The wine is very good.
Maybe it was Glentalk, but I don't know that our group is currently prepared to take on the hags directly.
It is understood. I do not ask you to act recklessly.
All right. Well, in that event, I will happily give you my blade for there's just more opportunities to use it.
He just wants us to fight the hags?
Well, if he calls upon your service, you are supposed to come.
Yeah.
Mortimer, it seems we have a ceremony, and I shall bestow this fine mortal my armor and weapon. Could you fetch that for me? And Mortimer's, yes, sir, yes. And you hear him go into another room and up some stairs, and he's walking, and there's some like dust that falls from the ceiling, and you hear some clanging and banging and cussing, and he comes back down, and similar to the armor that the elf you saw at the harbor, was wearing.
Yeah.
It is like this cobalt blue armor, plate mail, with the 3 moons waxing, and he kind of looks at you, and that's a bit big, Mortimer, don't you say? Yes. Do we have another size? Yes, we do. And he comes back up the stairs and comes back down, and he puts, he starts to put it on you, and he says, "Kitty, over here." So the cat comes over and spits on his hand. He starts like polishing it.
Thank you, young squire.
Wow.
And the cat just kind of looks at you and goes, coughs up a hairball and spits it to the side.
Oh.
Really, Wes? All of your characters are sellouts now?
He starts, they're polishing it, and he takes the sword. It looks kind of heavy in his hand as he grabs it, and he says, "Let the ceremony begin." So, you kneel, and he says, "I appoint you, Felix." Do you have a last name, or just Felix?
Felix Tabor.
Felix Tabor.
Oh, actually, no. I already have a last name.
Sorry. Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Spythe.
Spythe.
Spythe?
It's been so long since I looked at
the character
name
sheet
slot on my character sheet.
All right, give me a D20 roll.
14.
14. And he says, "Felix Spythe, I now knight you under the court of Lord Three Moons Waxing. You are now deemed 7 steps at dawn. Rise."
7 steps at dawn. Oh
7
boy,
steps at dawn. That's pretty
And
dope.
he hands you a sword that's really heavy, and he says, "This is cold iron. It will strike down a fey creature. It is the only way to strike one down."
ain't that fun?
Is this just like a long sword, or
Yeah, just a long sword. Yeah. So mechanically, it's just a straight up long sword.
Yep.
But if you are fighting a fey, it will do extra damage.
Nice.
Also, he has you stand where his seat was. So he moves the seat and has you stand there and then the moonlight hits the armor, and you can see all of a sudden those around you see sort of this aura kind of like start to encompass you. So if the moon is out and there are no clouds, you get a +2 to your armor class.
Nice.
If a spell is cast against you or anybody in a 20-foot radius, there is a chance that it could fail. A 2 in 6 chance that spell could fail. This is only if the moon is out and the moonlight is on you.
So travel with Clintock and Basil Wilberforce when they go stealing in the middle of the night.
Oh, okay.
You call it selling out. I call it embracing opportunity.
Like Karn literally couldn't stay a paladin if he took that oath of fealty. I think.
You can swear fealty to more than one lord, right? Yeah.
I don't think
know
it
how
works
stuff
like that.
Yeah, usually not.
All right, cool.
And the third effect is within 30 feet, you can see any invisible fey creatures.
Oh.
That's fucking big.
Mm-hmm.
This is also under the moon conditions, right?
Right, yeah, that has to be the exact conditions, correct.
Does the bard have any sort of control weather?
I gotta predict weather. I think control weather is way up there at that fifth level.
Fair enough.
That's like a fifth level druid spell. Yeah.
Yeah, not yet.
All right.
Not yet for a while.
So anything else you're going to say? You write your letter.
Oh yeah, tomorrow you can just write the letter.
He will make sure that it gets to this person. He will send it. It will go to Tarkos, and from Tarkos they have a way to find this Remy.
Nice.
Has you describe her and get some kind of details on the situation. And he says rest. He shows you each to a room. It's very dusty. It looks like somebody attempted to dust it, probably with their cattail, but it didn't go very well.
Cattail. I'm not seeing that cat being really well motivated to dust with its tail.
It has like a little, a lamp in there with some lamp oil and a dresser and, just a simple bed.
Karn cleans it before he goes to sleep.
Okay. So you rest for the evening, and when you wake up, you have the two of you who seem to have an almost indifference to the Ape Empire are not indifferent anymore. You realize how much you dislike them.
Okay.
And go ahead and roll if you got hit points back.
All right. And so I think the plan was 2 doses for Felix, which will get him up. 2 doses for Tamil, which will get him up. And then looks like the blood loss is the more debilitating for Clintock. So 6 doses clears his blood loss. And there are 5 left to clear the disabled.
Before we sleep, was there anybody who needed healing from Karn?
That has a soul.
I could use 1 more hit point if you're up for it.
Yeah, I mean, Karn has 8 to give away before we go to sleep, so.
I could use 1 then.
Yeah. Karn and Basil are fine. Usually enough. They're both fine. That'll change soon.
That would leave Clintock with 3 more days of disabled at -1 to everything.
Right.
But not disabled and blood loss and whatever the hell else.
This is much more tolerable. And then maybe by the time that we get to the place,
hopefully,
I'll be back to normal. Because that's about 3 days, give or take.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be 3 days. Go to the first lighthouse, look for the second, go to the second, look for the third. So, yeah.
Felix, before bed, will spend some time whittling away at the scabbard for his new sword to draw some appropriate symbols to match the breastplate that I've received.
Okay.
Well, plate mail. Using my carpentry skills.
Nice.
Oh, you're a carpenter?
Felix is.
Huh.
Clintock is a farmer by trade. A bad
Oh,
one.
that's no wonder he does what he does. He wanted to get away from all that really badly, didn't he?
Yeah, that's how he got really good at selling things, though.
Right?
All right.
At 4 a.m., you've got Karn Stone waking everybody up going, so are we heading down the road?
Oh, surely we can spare another hour or 2.
Come along, slug-a-bed. It's time to have breakfast.
The chamber pot that Clintock has had his head wrapped around most of the evening, he just flings it in Karn's direction and rolls back over.
Oh, you terrible person. You're going to make somebody else clean up after you.
He definitely catches the chamber pot, dumps it in your bed.
Oh!
And now a bath for you as well. Come along.
Clintock doesn't care that much. He is not wearing his actual clothes. He's wearing whoever's clothes.
Yeah, that's right. So your clothes are dry in the morning. You're given some fermented beets and turnips to take on your way. Lord Three Moon Waxing says that look for the lighthouses. There are 3 of them each day. Should end at a lighthouse. The keeper should let you in to rest. He says that, obviously he knew the light keepers a long time ago, but I'm sure that they have changed over the years. So they are probably not the same. He would also mention that he's forbidden to go back to Dolmenwood, so he doesn't go that way. And the last lighthouse keeper will know the entrance to the Dolmenwood and should let you in. And then once you get to Dolmenwood, you will look for Migra's Reach. There's a village there that he remembers. It's a very small village. Someone in the village will know the entrance. It's a secret that's kept, at least by the village elders. But of course, he says, it has been a while since I have been there, so it may take a little coaxing to find where it is. Won't change anything. Who's in charge of it or who controls it probably has changed, but
right, the surprise there, and hundreds, thousands of years traipsing all over the world again.
Adventurers doing adventuring. What?
Adventure!
Who would have thought it? Orion grumbles something about actually settling down somewhere for more than a day so that he can actually ply his trade and maybe get some loose women who don't stink of
loose women, my favorite.
Who don't stink of mothball.
He says to be careful of the hags. He says they obviously have motives, and you probably know their motives better than he does. But he just says be wary of them, of course, and reminds and tells Felix if he has the opportunity to strike them down.
If I can, I will slice their bellies.
We will definitely be trying to thwart them no matter what. So even if we can't actually do serious damage, we're fully intend to be a pain in their side for as long as we can.
So he says that the village is sort of in northeast of the Dolmen. It's northeast in the Dolmenwood. He heads you in the direction. Of course, Leaf is there, and Kitty, and Mortimer. They all bid you safe travels. As he, says head in that direction as you kind of head south. And every once in a while, you travel for about an hour. It's like there's trees and rocks and some. Again, it's still cloudy. The clouds pass and go. It's sort of it's like twilight the whole time. And every once in a while, you'll see a snowflake kind of land and fall and land on you and then melt away. After about an hour, you see the ground looks very cold. Like there's frost, and some of the trees have a little bit of snow on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to be getting a little bit colder, but nothing earth-shattering. And every once in a while, there's a cold wind that just kind of, that same cold wind that he talked about, just kind of whips through and it kind of frees him.
Yeah, before it starts to get really snowy, Felix will try and grab some dry branches and stuff off of any dead trees as they pass.
Okay.
So that they can make a fire later without having to deal with wet wood.
So as you're headed out, you're walking and there's a patch of an inch or so of snow with some vines and brambles and stuff that sort of make like an archway. Beyond it, it looks kind of dark. You can hear howling winds.
Okay. And is this on the path or is this off the beaten road?
No, this is the path.
Oh, spooky.
Fear not, my friends. Cuthbert guides us through here as he guides us everywhere. Stick to the path, no harm will come to us that we cannot overcome. Be of brave heart and brave souls.
How dark is it out right now?
It's twilight. It's like you could every once in a while. I mean, you kind of see, every once in a while the moonlight hits your armor and you kind of glow with an aura about you.
Those are some pretty sweet benefits in the moonlight. Of course, somewhat restricted temporally, or circumstantially, however you want to put it, but still.
Yeah.
So if you're headed that way, who's in charge of this caravan?
Charge?
I mean, like, who's in the front? Is Karn? I guess Karn's in the front. Karn, as soon as you step through this like archway, the wind starts to whip, and you are in like the middle of a snowstorm. Like the snow is like pelting you, and you see snow drifts, and ahead, you're not sure, like seems like miles is a tiny light in the distance you can see. I wouldn't say it's whiteout conditions, but everything is white. And there are snow drifts, and the snow, that wind is hitting you, cutting right through. It's like freezing out here.
Tamul follows.
Okay, and you experience the same thing. And when you guys kind of turn and look, you don't see that archway.
Oh.
Great. Karn acts like there's nothing wrong at all, but he is making it straight for the light.
Karn! Where are you? Says Tamul as he like lights his staff up,
So Karn begins reciting loudly the book of Cuthbert, just verbatim, loudly to try to make sure everybody can follow the sound of his voice. And maybe he might even say, he'll call up Basil Wilberforce and ask him for his rope. And if it's bad enough that we're having trouble seeing each other, we can, all hold on to a rope.
Makes sense.
Oh, that's a good idea.
But now, if the weather starts to affect him, you'll have to let me know. But he acts like there's no effect on him at all.
Okay.
But he's stoic about his pain.
Right.
Nice.
Okay. So yeah, you use the rope, and everybody's like attached to it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tamul, hold on. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So you're traveling, like it's in a snowstorm.
Right.
You're traveling, and you can see a light in the distance as you head in that direction. And there are snow drifts, and the wind is whipping, and that cold wind. All right. Let's see. Wes, give me a D6 roll.
6.
It takes 6 hours to get there, y'all. Frozen to death. Roll for how many fingers and toes you've lost.
All right, so everybody make me a con roll. Roll under your Constitution score.
Okay.
Oh god, Basil's gonna have a hard time.
That's a 15. I don't think that's gonna make it. That is not. That's gonna be failed for me.
Yeah. Clintock definitely failed. Felix succeeded, bolstered by his newfound.
Ryan and John Tor are actually good.
Karn makes it and Basil fails it. And if I'd rolled it backwards, they both would have made it.
All right, so those who failed, you have a -1. As the cold weather is absolutely getting to you. Russell, give me a D6 roll.
5.
Okay, another 4 hours pass, and it is another con roll.
So since we're doing a con check, it's going to be like add a +1 to it since it's a penalty.
Right.
I think that's the first time this dice has rolled over its head where it matters.
That's going to be an 18 on the dice +1 and 19. So that's still going to be another fail for my con roll.
All right.
So I only got a con of 8.
So Tamul is at -2.
So is Basil then.
Basil W.
And Karn passed again.
Wow.
With the same 5.
Felix failed, but Clintock succeeded.
Okay, so Clintock's -1, Felix -1.
Ryan and John Tor once again make it.
All right, Paul, let's go. You're up. D6 roll.
D6, Jesus.
Dude, give me a D10 roll.
9.
So you guys are very cold. You're moving as there's snow drifts. Every once in a while, the light seems to be getting closer, sort of, kind of. Yes. It's hard to tell, shaking. And then up ahead, you see a gaggle of people. Like they all got cloaks and stuff on, and they're moving really slow.
Do they look familiar?
No. I mean, no.
Pence and winter clothes were not on our minds when we were in that city.
Definitively not.
Blankets and stuff like that. All that stuff is on my yaks.
Yeah. Since there's 9 of them.
They're not on my yaks either. I know I had... Oh, tent and bedroll. Yeah, never mind.
Can I get each of you to roll a D10?
Everybody?
Yep. Everybody give me a D10.
Gotcha.
Roll 2 D10s. Do not add them together. It's separate rolls.
Okay.
I have a 1 and a 7.
Ooh. Okay, well that's a
3 and
2
4.
and 6 for me. 2
Okay,
and 6.
Russell,
3 and 4.
1 and 7.
they don't look like adventurers from what you can tell. And they are shivering and cold.
Tamul is going to approach them. Are you okay? Do you know where you're going?
And this older man with a long beard looks at you and says, "Oh, greetings, friend. We're headed to High Hankle. Do you know how much longer we have? I didn't expect this cold."
Tamul wants to see if like they have like packs and stuff.
I mean, they've got some backpacks and stuff like that.
But yeah, he's gonna shout out that he doesn't know where that is, and that they're heading to the Dolmen Wood.
Is this the source of the light that we saw?
No, they're headed. No, this is not the source of the light. It's still in the distance.
Do we have any estimate of how far in the distance since we've traveled hours? Do we feel like we've gotten any closer? It's never.
I mean, it's hard. I mean, you feel like you've gotten closer, but then you're not sure if it's the effects of whatever it is distorting it, making it feel like we should be there already. What the hell?
Friends, perhaps we should all huddle close and make fire and warm ourselves.
Yes, it sounds like a great idea.
Do you have firewood? Do you have something to start a fire?
I have
could rest.
both. Do you have tents?
No.
What about sleeping bags, bedrolls?
A few of us.
Well, good enough.
We can make a tent.
Help me clear this snow.
Okay. They start helping you clear some of the snow.
I'll take what little firewood that I have collected and pour out how much ever lantern oil to get it going in this like crazy snowstorm. Light it on fire.
Okay, yeah, it flickers, but it's burning a little bit, and all of them kind of like huddle around it, like so thankful. You see that one person has got like a fishing rod, like coming out of his backpack.
Fellow angler.
Yes. Me and my brother here. We're headed to fish off the coast, but as you can see, there's nothing.
Yes, no ponds around anywhere.
So, and then, as you do that, like you've cleared off some of the snow, you realize that this is ice that you've cleared off. Like,
Oh,
I spoke too soon.
yeah, it seems that the Cold Prince has made his way this far west. This should be shores for fishing, but not today.
Well, let us hope it is thick.
You would surmise, yeah, it is very thick ice.
so this Cold Prince fellow, what do you know about him?
Oh, like a small, like probably like 3.5 foot tall humanoid comes over to you, and his face looks like it's got frozen fungus on it.
Yeah.
And he looks at you and he says, the Cold Prince, he is a cruel lot.
And he rules this Frigidaria.
Phrygia, that is his home. It is said that he used to live in the Dolmen Wood, but was removed. He wishes to come back one day.
Tamul's gonna ask him like if he knows like the general direction of like where the Cold Prince, or at least like Phrygia, maybe, because and just hear me out, y'all. It might be, maybe we might want to make a pit stop here to make our journey easier by killing this guy, by murdering this wannabe Elsa. Maybe.
Who is this Elsa of which you speak?
This person's just being cold, and we can't have that. It's interfering with our mission right now.
Clintock just like leans closely to Tamul and says, "Well, that's the first bright idea I've heard from you yet."
So a human man walks over to you. It looks like he has a bald head that's covered with some snow and some mutton chops, and says, "Well, this is an interesting course of action you propose." And he kind of warms up his hands and he takes out a deck of cards. What do the cards say, my friend? Roll a d6.
He says you're going to die. Roll a d6.
He says, "You will bring the end to you yourself and all your group if you even make it to find this Cold Prince."
Yeah.
Not a prophecy. Who are you?
I'm a fortune teller.
Well, then what's going to happen to you people? Where are you going to go?
We're headed. So they seem confused. Like half the group says to go where you guys came from, and then the other half says to go the other way. So they seem a little bit delirious about which way to go.
There's nothing but more cold in the direction that we came from.
Ugh.
Our door has shut.
You live around here?
No.
No.
But we came through a door, and when we turned back to look, it was gone.
Oh, the gates have closed.
The door is shut. And this firewood will not last long. We've gathered some warmth.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of like, kind of sort of takes the chill out of the air for that. I mean, for you guys a little bit, as everybody's like huddled, like
Imagine
practically
everybody
on
like
top
with
of,
arms around each other and huddled
Yeah.
over top of this
Yeah.
little tiny fire.
yeah, like literally like on top of each other, like, oh, this feels great.
Clintock is sizing up all of the adventuring party that we've run into. He's like, do I fit inside this person?
God damn.
These people are possible insulation.
Well, I'm thinking they could be possible hirelings for us to go and, you know what I mean?
Did you say cannon fodder?
What? No, I would never say something like that. No.
Clintock says, do you know how long the winds have been whipping here? Will this storm pass?
And one with the fishing pole says, I don't think so.
I was about to have somebody build an igloo, but it's not going to get any better. Ugh.
No, I think this cold prince has to be dealt with.
Yeah.
Have we seen any daylight here?
Mortals trying to take on, say, for instance, who can change the weather generally don't lead to good ends. Hence the guy's prophecy.
Have we seen the sunlight here?
You realize there is some sort of sun or something in the sky, but there is a light, but that's about it.
So it's daytime now.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the best that we can hope for.
Yeah.
So yeah, these conditions, which are still terrible, is the best we can hope for.
Well, where might we find the nearest refuge? You've been here longer than us.
So they all kind of like point in different directions. Half of them point to the light ahead, and then half of them said, "There's a way this way. I'm sure of it."
Right.
So yeah, they don't know where to go either.
Clintock pulls out the compass.
Hey.
I mean, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, it kind of spins, and there's none of them have any kind of magical.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot. It was just man.
It's
No. It's gems. You're right. It's gems. None of them have any gems. My bad.
And there's nothing in the appropriate direction. If I use the monocle to look at the light, does it look magical? Can I tell from this distance?
Maybe. It definitely is. You're not sure. Like, enough to say, it could be some sort of magical light.
Right. Well, friends, acquaintances, I think we should just keep traveling in the direction we started. Hopefully we get there before nightfall. We could also draw straws now if you'd like, or we can wait until it's more appropriate.
I don't even, no. You brought it up. I have to ask. Draw straws for what?
Orion, we draw straws before we decide. That's the point. We wouldn't want anyone doing anything that might disrupt the straw drawing.
I'm just looking at him like, pretty sure I know what he's talking about, but...
Well, could you play your lute while we travel onward? Something to invigorate us, to fill our blood with warmth?
Sure, we can do that.
All right. They appreciate the warm fire and decide, let's see, which way they're going to go. So they their gaggle sort of follows behind you. Like you guys head that way and they sort of decide they don't seem to move as fast as you guys. You have the rope that you're using and they're kind of like staggering behind you. And you're about 12. It's been about a total of like 12 hours. And as you pass one of like a snowbank and get around to the other side, you realize you're at the base of this lighthouse.
Holy shit.
And in front of you is, you can see the doors covered like with snow, and it's a stone building, and the wind is just whipping.
Clintock wastes no time and goes and like raps at the door.
Meanwhile, while you're doing that, Tamul's going to check on like the people that are following behind us and see if any of them are wounded, and maybe uses healing hands if they are.
Not really wounded, just kind of in the same condition that you guys are, like very tired. It's probably not something that they anticipated, whereas you guys have a better chance of handling it. They don't. So you rap on the door and says, hello, who is it?
It is I, Clintock, and I am followed by 7 steps at dawn.
The door instantly opens. He kind of looks past you. Is this is this some knight of a fairy lord? And as soon as he opens the door, you look out. He is a goat man, which is called a Bregel, and he has short horns and a long nose. He's got what looks like servant's clothes, servant's livery on, and you feel the heat just come out of the door as soon as he opens it. Like he's got like an inferno going on in there.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
He goes, but of course, but not just any Fey Lord, but it doesn't matter. Yes. And then just like pushes past to get.
Yes, he says, "Come, yes, come in." And you walk in, and in the center of this room is a roaring fire, like you can walk around it. And there's a ladder that goes all the way up to the top. Come in, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Karn makes sure that everybody else is in and enters the door last.
Okay.
Make sure there's nobody lost out in the snow. Does the head count thing.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, you get all everybody is like crowded around this large circle, and there's a roaring fire going on.
See, my friends, I told you, Cuthbert provides.
Well, who knows if he would have opened the door for Cuthbert, Felix says.
Of course he would. And he looks over at the guy.
He just he not really sure who you're talking about.
Certainly you would open the door for Cornstone, servant of Cuthbert.
I don't know who this Cuthbert is.
Oh, let me tell you all about him.
Oh God, just let him off. Yeah, let him off.
Hey, that's up to this guy.
Clintock, it will be. Do you have a nice port anywhere or a fine wine?
Yes, the finest. Yes, have you
maybe
ever had turn up ale?
Oh.
And he climbs up the ladder, and you see that there are like shelves going all the way up, and he pulls out like a big ceramic canister and comes back down with it, pops the top, and he pours you a big mug full. The finest turnip ale is here.
It is something to drink. And then he just starts.
Yeah. It's what you would imagine turnip ale would taste. See?
Oh, wait a minute. John Tor, who has brewing, is going to take it and, do the fine wine experience. Check the nose, check the leg, make some learned commentary about, using a baking yeast is good, but you actually need something designed for a brewery. We may be able to start something out of, I'm sure I've got something in my pack. Yeast may still be alive if you have other turnips. I can get you a true brewer's yeast, I think, if you'll give me some ingredients. I mean...
he will definitely talk to you all about this turnip ale and how he is perfecting this recipe, and that he plans on bringing it to the Dolmenwood and taking it by storm, and it's going to be the next sensation.
Okay. Well, I mean, like I said, John Thor is all about helping him brew, and he's going to try to see if some of the stuff he has has some actual brewer's yeast that he can start from what he has. Get the guy some actual, decent yeast, and of course, John Tor would never say it, but it'll never, turnip ale will never take off. But he will make these side notes that, if people don't like the actual taste of turnip ale, well, they're plebeians, but you can always bypass that by distilling it and make turnip vodka.
That's true.
Yeah, he's very interested in, and so as he you see him walking around, he's got like a long wispy beard. He's got a gray and lustrous coat and bushy eyebrows, and you see around his neck what looks like an animal heart that he has on like a piece of twine.
Of what beast did you slay to get that?
This is did not slay a beast. This is a token. My dear swine, good friend.
And of what beast did he slay to get it?
No, it is his heart. I keep it close to me.
Oh.
Friend's heart?
Yes.
Does he not need that anymore?
His spirit has gone elsewhere.
I am sorry for your loss.
Oh, I am too, but it was a delicious send-off.
Did he just say that? He just said that. Okay.
Shall we draw straws now, Orion?
Well,
No? All right. Do you have any more of him to eat?
Oh, that was years ago.
Oh. Well, you should really update your fashion. I assume you've had more than one friend since then.
That was back in my days, my former life, but I am the lighthouse keeper now.
Have the other people like kind of moved in as well? It's like,
yeah, they're taking off their cloaks and wet clothes and hanging them, like there's like a railing that goes around this fire.
Okay.
Made of some kind of like like a stone railing, and they're just hanging their cloaks and stuff to dry out.
Okay, sick. All right. I just want to know, like, if he let us in because we were with the Knight of the Seven Steps, or
that's what it seemed like. Like he just
Oh.
assumes that you're part of his entourage.
So he might think they're the okay. The peasants to help
The
out.
retinue.
That makes sense. Let's keep it that way.
How's it always been this way? Just gesturing towards the door.
Oh no, there used to be this was the coast. There used to be the green fields. The Cold Prince is spreading his influence, unfortunately.
right.
And how long has it been this way?
Oh, I've been the keeper here for almost 100 years, so it started probably 70 years ago.
So no reprieve soon, then I assume.
It never lets up.
Wow.
Wait a minute. What are the conditions towards the rest of the lighthouses? Are we going to run into this the whole way down?
You may. I'm not sure. I have not gotten any messages from the other keepers in quite some time.
So tell me, if nothing else, do you perhaps have warm clothes and tents we could purchase from you?
I have warm. I may have a couple old cloaks in the back. Since you are with this knight here, and I would guess he kind of strokes his bushy beard. You are probably his squire.
Well, squire would not be quite accurate, but
Don't correct the man.
but we are indeed allies and boon companions.
Yes, for this night here, I do have a few cloaks and some warm clothes.
Much appreciated. Well, might we sleep here for the evening?
Yes, you will. Yeah, he kind of gestures. You can sleep right in a circle around this fire. Yes, you're welcome to.
Nice.
Oh, as he looks up, he's like, I think I have some more turnip ale I can get. And he kind of moves his ladder around and starts climbing up.
John Dor is going to happily help him work on his turnip ale.
Okay.
John Dor's been jonesing for some brewing experience for a while.
So, in this group of people, Obviously, there's a fortune teller. There's somebody who is looking for this castle Brackenwold and has been lost.
We
Like,
even heard of that name?
no, you've never heard of that. They've been kind of, they don't know how long they've been searching for it. Like, when you talk to them, it almost sounds like it's been like 100 years that they've been wandering around. Another one is a merchant, but he's talking about, he has nothing to sell. He sold like various knickknacks and different things, but he has nothing to sell. Another one was carrying some news. It was like a town crier, but obviously that whatever news he has is probably long gone.
Long gone.
Orion's definitely going to ask the town crier what he remembers for news, just to see how badly it is out of date.
He's talking about how there is some sort of noble missing in Lake Shorn, and they're offering a reward. The names or anything he mentions doesn't even sound familiar.
Wow.
The other two are like pilgrims. They said they're on their way to High Henkel and ended up somehow, they ended up here. And the other two are fishermen who came, obviously spotted, they came here to fish.
We'll give them the advice we were given, which seems to actually work, which is, look for the lighthouse, head to the lighthouse, then head to the next lighthouse. And, theoretically, in a couple more days, you're out.
Right.
My question for them is, if they've been wandering around here this many years, how have they survived without a way to keep warm and food?
All of them give you different answers. One will tell you that he's only been out here like a day or two. Another one will be like, oh, it's been a couple of weeks and we really had to spare our rations. And one will say, no, we met you first. Remember? And that all their stories just don't match up.
A lot of confusion going on here.
Yes.
Right.
And they're all human except for one. And one of them is a dwarf, but he's the one that had the fungus like on his face.
Yeah.
And you realize he is a strange dwarf that you've never seen before.
We didn't see him outside?
You mean a type of dwarf?
Correct. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah,
dwarf. Okay.
A type of dwarf you've never seen before.
Clintock will find it very suspicious they'll have different stories. They can't seem to keep them straight. He will take note specifically of what they've said and then wait until like a little while later, like a couple hours later, and just like bring up the question again to see if it's consistent.
You get a different answer. If you ask the same person, you'll get a different. Oh no, we've been on. No, it's 3 weeks, and that person had just told you an hour ago they were only here a day.
Wow.
I will offer to climb the ladder and get some more turnip ale. And if I'm remembering correctly, like it goes up onto like the next level. Is that what the?
Yeah. So if you think of like a lighthouse, a circular lighthouse going all the way up, it's open, and there are shelves kind of like at different points in different. They don't go all the way around, so the ladder kind of moves and extends. If I'm explaining that correctly.
Yeah. Once I'm up there, I will kind of like step into the shadows a little bit as much as I can be out of sight. I'll take out the monocle and I will take a look at all of our traveling companions.
None of them light up with magic.
Well, there goes that theory.
And that strange dwarf who he kind of like strips down to his like shorts. His skin is like brown and wrinkled, but it looks like it's got moss growing all over it. And when he lifts up his arms, you see like this woody bracken fungus growing out from under his armpits as he's like stretching near the fire.
The hell?
Sounds like he's some kind of like a druidic dwarf, or
it almost looks like as you're watching him, like his flesh moves, like has a life of its own.
and he's fairy.
and he sits down. He kind of crosses his legs, and he takes out like this piece of parchment, and he flips it. It's huge, and he opens it up, and he starts looking at it.
What are you reading there?
Oh, it's my it's going to be my invention.
And Timur's gonna just like take a look at it, and he's like, what's this guy talking? What's this guy looking?
It looks like It looks like blueprints. It says this is what will be a mechanical mouse organ clock.
A mechanical? What does that even mean?
It is not supposed to be humorous.
At the statement of it's not supposed to be humorous, Felix lets out like a really like deep belly laugh.
Well, Timur is going to see if maybe he can help this guy out, because this guy, he's never heard of something so crazy. Maybe he can make it work, or perhaps even shift the idea into something more workable.
Orion's going to be like, wait a minute. You said mechanical, but mouse organs are not mechanical.
No, organ like the instrument.
Yeah. Organ like the instrument.
Oh my god. I was literally thinking the same thing. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was thinking organs like organs of the body, and then I was like,
yeah.
Well, what if it was the organ clock kind of? But I still don't get all of it. Maybe it's an organ played by a mouse that also acts as a clock.
That's a lot.
When the clock strikes 12, the mouse plays the organ.
And as he's showing it to you, Tamul, he goes, "Oh," and he flips it up like 45 degrees. Oh, there we go. That's right. That way now.
But yeah, Tamul's gonna just help him out a little bit. Maybe see if he can just add whatever. I don't know if I.
Yeah, he goes into like intricate detail about how he's going to build this thing, and that's once he gets back to the Dolmen Wood and back to Prigward, and his shop, he is going to like put this thing together, and it is his passion project.
It's his magnum opus. What's this guy's name? Because he's potentially an investment for later. Crazy tinkery dude. Yeah.
Give me 2 D20 rolls.
Gotcha.
We're going to use the random name generator.
Oh, cool. I got a 5 and a 5.
Bremo Frother.
Inventor of the mice organ clock. Mouth organ
Mechanical
clock.
Mice
Mechanical.
Well, wait a minute. There's something important about this guy. I mean, besides his, well, shall we say, strange hobby there, it's fairly critical that he's talking about the Dolmen Woods. So we'll sort of quiz him about the Dolmen Woods. Now, probably it's 5 centuries out of date, and who knows whatever. But more information is better.
What are you going to ask him?
We heard rumors that there was a gate in the Dolmen Woods, and I was wondering if he can substantiate any of those. I mean, is this something he's heard about?
Oh, you mean a ferry road?
If that's what it is, it was told there was a way to the infinite road there.
No, he doesn't know about an infinite road.
Okay.
Though it sounds very intriguing to him.
Does he know about a ferry road since he mentioned it?
He has heard about the ferry roads. Let's see if there's one he knows about.
And has he also heard of or less of us has he heard of it, but like what threats might we come across in the Dolmen Wood other than the hags, of course?
Yeah, he's heard of the ferry roads. He doesn't know exactly where they are. And as far as the threats go, he says there's a growing evil. The Nag Lord, his presence in Dolmen Wood is becoming a problem. He is corrupting the Bregel, and he points at the Goat Man, which is a Bregel. He says he is corrupting them.
He points over and he says, "That guy, he's corrupted."
Well, I didn't say he's corrupted, but they're called Bregel. So I mean, you guys would say, "What's a Bregel?" It's like that guy.
And okay. Nag Lord. Okay. Well, duly noted.
Honestly, it more sounds like he's another one of these confused people, but confused about something entirely different than how long he's been here and where he's come from.
Things have gotten even worse there than they were when these people were there last.
Yeah.
And we got hags and a nag lord, and N comes after H in the alphabet, so he's got to be higher up, right?
What?
Nothing. I'm being silly. Hag lord, nag lord. Sorry, that was being silly. I don't know what a nag lord is, and part of me wonders if by helping them find their way, we're not leading them to the slaughter.
Don't know it's dangerous, but I mean, they probably have a better chance of making it with us than they do by themselves.
Untalk just says, well, they should just decide for themselves. They want to follow, they can follow. Make themselves useful.
Can we see the other tower tonight? The next lighthouse, can we see it?
Yeah, the lighthouse keeper, whose name is Lurg Snickelbach.
Great name. Great freaking name.
He will lead you up the long trek up the ladder all the way to the top of the lighthouse, where it looks like there's some kind of crystal or something that's glowing, has like a light inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
And as you look into the distance through the snow, you can see a light, like a pinpoint of light, he says. That is the next lighthouse.
This can be seen as well from the ground.
Just like this one, I would hope.
Yeah.
And it takes about a day to walk there, even despite the snow and the winds.
As far as I know, yes, of course.
Then all we have to do is be hale of heart and hale of mind and hale of body, and we can make it.
Yes, of course, young squire. So I would say that, John Tor has his ear about brewing, and he talks to him, with recipes. And if Clintock asks the different people, they give you different stories. You can see that clearly they are confused or something has gone on. They're not sure. They don't have a straight story to tell. And, you guys rest here, and you can hear the howling winds. But it is warm in this fire. What you would notice is that the firewood that he puts on doesn't seem to equate with the fire that is burning. Like, how is he getting this much heat from like 4 pieces of wood that he throws on?
All right.
Okay, weird.
Can we see where he's getting this firewood from?
He climbs up a ladder, and there's like a stack of wood on a shelf, and he just like grabs the pieces of wood and comes back down and throws them on the fire.
Can you perhaps spare some of the wood for travelers on the road?
He looks, I have to, this is a precious commodity here. I have to keep the light lit and this fire going.
Of course you do. It is of paramount importance for the other travelers on the road. But is there none to spare for, say, coin or favors?
Oh, for coin, there's nothing. What am I going to buy? It doesn't keep me warm.
I don't know. Where did this firewood come from?
Good question. Because there don't seem to be any trees in the area we're passing through.
If they are, they're buried in snow.
Obviously, you have a source for this.
This was here from the previous owner.
Clintock just says, I know you have no need for money, but have you ever stared into the opulescent edges of a gem? Oh, all of the things you can see.
So he will part with his gems for the right price.
Might give you a lot to do in this tower.
Where are you headed? More turnip ale?
Oh, yes, of course. Dolmenwood.
Okay. He has a big ceramic canister of this turnip ale. He says, if you will swear that you will take this canister to Dolmenwood and find a tavern, I will spare you 1 piece of this wood.
John Tor's name, because John Tor will, of course, earnestly swear to do it. Now, whether he manages or not is something else entirely, but, John Tor will earnestly indeed swear to take it and find a tavern to use it. There you go.
He's like that one friend who's into microbrewing, and he's just like, "Hey, bro, like, so if you take this back to Publix and just kind of put it on the shelf." That's great.
Clinton
Yeah,
just
that's
says, well, you know, it'll take us a while to get there, and the return trip would be so long that when they inevitably get the taste of this turnip ale and are just floored with it, they'll want more.
We were a little late because, John Tor immediately jumped on it and said he'd go. So.
Oh, no.
He's trying to get more.
Yeah, he's trying.
Okay, here's the second piece.
And we'll carry another container for you then. And
another container?
Well, yes. They will want more. Do you not have another container?
Yeah. There'll be one ready in the morning.
All right.
The more we carry, the more people taste it.
They'll have the second one to get them back here.
Yes.
Amazing.
All right. So you guys rest if you're down any hit points, or if you are down.
Yeah, what's the rest? For my character is good, but what's the rest do for the minuses on?
Tamul is just -1, and Basil Wilberforce is just -1. Since they're at -2, it removes 1 negative. If you're down hit points, you roll the hit points. You got a nice fire. Lurg is with John Tor brewing up some more ale to take. He is really excited that you're going to be going into the Dolmenwood, and the turnip ale is going to turn his life around.
Well, if you count, sitting on the shitter more than you want. Oh no.
Do turnips make you do that? I'm not really a fan. I don't eat them.
They're just like any other root vegetable. High in fiber.
Yeah, most experience I have with a turnip is Super Mario Bros. 2, and that's about it.
Nice.
Just as a weapon.
What they're most useful for.
You're not missing a ton.
Well, hopefully in the morning, good night's rest with some warm fire maybe makes these people less delirious.
And then be able to get some more clear information out of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So everybody get their hit points, everything back.
Yeah.
You're going to take these people with you. They're probably going to follow you.
Okay.
Especially if they're going to follow us. Karn would try to take care of them.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Tamul would too.
I mean, if nothing else, they'll make good. We can stack them up like cords of wood to keep us warm.
What is this, man? That's terrible.
That is terrible.
Of course it is. That's what Basil Wilberforce is thinking. Karn, of course, is motivated by everything that's good,
Flintock will go to each one of them individually and try to shake them down for like a guide fee every day.
Oh my lord.
Give me a D10 roll.
Basil's going to help him.
An 8.
Between all of them, they muster up 8 gold pieces.
Yes.
Well, that's XP, right? It counts. Oh lordy.
Never work for free.
Between all of them, they can muster up 8 gold.
Never do for free what you can get paid for.
Yeah. I get it. But...
All right. So do we want to continue, as in keep playing for a little bit more, or you want to stop right here?
I'm probably good to stop for the night.
Yeah, that's good. All right. And then I can actually stat out these 9 people, and they can be,
cannon fodder.
Cannon fodder.
Oh my lord! Here y'all go with that again.
We're gonna have what do we have currently? 1, 2.
Helpless village folk that we're going to help, and would never try to sacrifice for our own advances.
They're gonna help us carry treasure and torches, and that's it.
Yeah.
We need torch bearers.
We've got a fellowship of 16. We've got some room to whittle it down.
Practically an army.
There can be some losses.
Toss them a couple spears. They might make something work. That's what they did with peasants. Just give them a spear. Hope it works out.
You need the squire to be behind the guy in full plate mail so he doesn't fall over.
Makes sense. Yeah, that's historically accurate.
Yeah. I love that as a reality. Yeah. The guy without armor is just behind you, pushing you forward.
Yeah. Are any of them wearing any kind of armor at all?
No.
Damn it. Basil can't slip him a shiv in the middle of the night. Oh, look, there's some leftover armor.
Damn.
Jesus, just for armor? Oh Lord, that's crazy.
Hey, tell me how you feel about the tank not having armor next combat.
That's gonna be rough.
You know, the guy who pulled your paralyzed ass out of the fire.
It's gonna be rough without armor. I'm gonna do my one lay on hands. Hope it carries you through the combat. So
there we go.
Felix will be noticeably shining the armor in front of Karn.
You got the best deal out of all this, man.
Like Karn takes absolutely zero notice at all.
Wow.
Until this.
However, am jealous as fuck.
And it's all good until this Feylord wants to go to war with his betters, you know, or he wants to take control of an area, and then he has to do it.
Yeah, but Felix is totally down for that. Like, he's definitively a sellsword.
Right.
Just like Braum.
This group, they all have 1d4 hit points and an AC of 10.
There we go.
They're normal humans, so sounds about right.
Well,
Whoa.
thanks, guys. It was an awesome session.
Yeah, and enjoyed it. All right, guys. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
Bye.
You too, man.
All right, take care.